You ain't gonna believe this, but you used to fit right here. I'd hold you up and say to your mother, this kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching you every day. It was like a privilege. Then the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
This boy and girl coming home from school greet their dad as though they are genuinely glad to see him.
Hey, Dad, look, bedpans.
As though they had really missed being away from him during the day and are anxious to talk to him.
Dad is great. Give us top again.
This is the time for pleasant discussion in a thoroughly relaxed mood.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
That's like I got a guy at work, and he was telling me how his son is reading Tom Sawyer for school, and he comes to him with this disgusted look on his face, and he's like, what? And he's like, have you ever read Tom Sawyer? He's like, yeah. He's like, everybody does. He's like, this book is disgusting. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, Tom Sawyer, like, licks a boy. He's like, how disgusting is that? So it took him a second. He didn't really understand. Then he realized that, you know, the book talks about Tom licking a boy, meaning like fight and beat him up. Right, and that's just not a term that's used anymore. So like kids hear lick, and so we're all like, oh my goodness. So he's like literally pitching him, like grabbing his face and just like,
I'll lick your paw.
I'm gonna, yeah, I licked him, paw. I licked him real good.
Books were taken literally.
Oh, man.
Well, what's up, Dad? You're listening to Dad's Getting Grounded, the podcast for dadshideout.com. This is going to be episode number 84, and I am your co-host, Jeremy, and with me tonight we have Dan.
Nonsense. I have not yet begun to defile myself.
Yeah, but do you have a movie quote?
That is.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, it's a small one.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, you do. I just probably couldn't do it right. I don't have tuberculosis.
Oh, is that the Lunger? Tombstone.
Yeah, Doc Holliday. When he's at the when he goes, nonsense. Anyway, sorry, it wasn't a good one. I tried.
We also have Damian.
You want it, don't you, fat boy? Go ahead, take a little bite. Just one little bite. It won't hurt you.
What?
Is that Dodgeball?
Yeah. Oh, that's got to be Dodgeball. Yeah, that's the what was the Ben Stiller's character?
Dwight Goodman. Yeah, when he's got the nipple hooked up to the electric shock and he's got the donut just sitting on the freaking pedestal in front of him, and he's like, yeah, you want it, don't you, fat boy? Go ahead, just one little bite. One bite of the donut. It won't hurt you.
Zap. He's like the fighting viper. What was it, the purple vipers? And they...
Which is hilarious because listening to the commentary, they said that Ben Stiller like came up with all those dances just improv. That wasn't written in. They were just gonna come out, and he got them all like dancing around and doing that stuff like with the vipers. Like, that's great.
Whoa, what was that, dude?
Yeah.
Mute it before you flip with that thing.
Did you have to run out and get a donut yourself? Was it too much?
We may or may not have a fourth guest tonight. I don't know what just happened there. He might have just been murdered. But Christian could not make it tonight, so if you can't get Christian, then you get Chris, also known as JediDad. Welcome, Chris.
It is against my programming to impersonate the deity.
Oh, that's C-3PO.
Jedi.
That's a Return of the Jedi, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is against my programming to impersonate the deity.
Well, Chris, what is this, Chris? Your third trip? Fourth trip with us?
Yes, third.
Somewhere around there? All right. Well, I apologize. We'll try to work it out so that you don't have to endure this too many more times in the future. But thanks for helping us out tonight, and welcome back. As is customary, we like to start off the show with the Father Time Talk.
Where do babies come from, Dad?
Shelly!
Well, at this point, you've already told us about your family a few times, so I don't know. Do you have anything going on with the kids this time of year?
Well, we've been in school for a month now. We're at a year-round school, so we started middle of July.
Ew.
Kids are in 4th grade. I have twins, for those that don't remember.
Yeah,
they're in 4th grade. They hit their first week off, their first break with a week off after next week, because it's 6 weeks of school and then 1 week off. And then anything else been going on? Doing Cub Scouts with my son.
Yay! Another Cub Scout.
Yeah.
What rank is he?
We just hit Weeblo.
Oh, wow. Where it starts getting tough.
Are you a den leader?
I actually did volunteer to take over the Weeblos this year.
Oh,
And-
look out, man.
So, yeah. Right now there's, we're in a smaller pack. We only have I think maybe 20, 25 kids total. And our den happens to be the smallest. We had 2 most of the year with theirs. It was just my son and the previous den leader's son.
Wow, just 2?
Yeah, just 2. And then this year, we're getting at least 2 more and maybe some more. We're getting ready to do a recruiting roundup on Monday night, actually, at the school where the pack is hosted at. So
We're doing the exact same thing. We've gotten a recruiting night getting set up here soon, and because I'm chairman now, so I have to.
Oh, you took the big chair.
No, they said that was the job with the least amount of duties. However, I don't think that's the case, but
Yeah, that's normally what they call the chair, the least important person.
Yeah.
So I've had to answer emails and stuff, and I'll have to be at some of these events and stuff. We had a leadership meeting. Anyway.
Yeah, we have a leader meeting every month to discuss what's coming up the next month and finalize planning for the upcoming camping trips and whatnot we have set up. Other than that, sports-wise, my son Cole decided to skip fall baseball this year.
Is that good or bad?
Both, I guess.
Okay.
He's been in it since he was done T-ball. So we've done T-ball 2 years or 2 seasons, coach pitch for 2 seasons, and kid pitch for 2 seasons now. And
does he like it?
He does, but he wants to. There's some clubs starting up at school, and I guess since he's there in 4th grade now, they can participate in those clubs. There's a running club that he wants to join. I'm not sure why he wants to join a running club.
Because he wants to run.
Sounds awful.
I keep running.
And my daughter wants to do dance club, so I'm gonna let her do that.
Which is just running in place.
Yeah.
I just want to dance. I need a club so I can dance.
And then we'll still do gymnastics once a week. They both enjoy that a lot. I think the only...
Wait, sorry, back up. Gymnastics, is that really expensive? Every time I hear somebody talk about gymnastics, everybody says, oh my god, the cost is just insane.
Only when they get older. The older they get, the more expensive it gets.
Okay.
Right now,
Why
it's
does
not
it
that
get-
bad for us.
Is it just like renting out I mean, because there's no equipment in that, right? I mean,
No.
It's already bought, right?
right. It's not
Yeah,
like,
but it's-
football, you got to buy,
Sometimes the the leotard uniforms that they wear can get expensive. The membership alone to the gym can get expensive the older they get.
And then travel.
And then traveling, yeah. But thankfully, everything's still in town, and they're still kind of in, well, not the learning phase, because they've been doing it for the last 6 years. But yeah, they enjoy it a lot. It's once a week, right after school, for an hour, hour and a half. And we both enjoy it, so we keep them in it until they don't want to be in it anymore.
Well, I guess that's the way it is, until you can talk them out of it, right? When you can slowly plant that seed in their mind, you hate this. You hate this.
You really don't do this anymore.
You know they don't give college scholarships for us anymore, right? That's pretty much impossible.
Yeah, and then the last thing I have is a couple weeks ago, we got to go to Austin for a little family get-together. I haven't seen my brother and sisters about 8 or 9 years, all in the same place at one time. So we all got to get together. My parents came down from Dallas. And
it was an explosion of, personality clashes, right?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
We've always gotten along. Never had any fights, arguments, or falling outs or anything like that. So that always helps.
Well, that's good, I guess. Some families can't say that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much about it.
Cool.
That's good.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining us and covering for Christian and his lazy butt this. No, he actually had some family stuff going on, so.
They're big shoes to fill, so I don't know if it will.
Yeah. Cool. So who wants to go next?
I'll go next there. So school started, yep. And, both kids are in the same school now, so daughter is half day kindergarten, son's full day, second grade. And, daughter's loving the kindergarten. She is there, she's taking it to like official water, so, it's really good that she's coming back. I mean, she's had 3 years of preschool, so, I think she was okay with it. She wasn't going to be a stretch to go to kindergarten by any means, so she's really enjoying it. Something for her to do. She's in the PM kindergarten, so she gets to stay at home while my son goes to the school and then comes back. During the day, they both come back together. So school started, man. The last topic about the school supplies, was that you, Damian? Talk about school supplies?
Yeah.
Dude, school supplies are like, the day before school, I think it was like a couple days, they had that Meet the Teacher night. And meet the teacher, and you dump off the supplies. You basically take all the supplies. Like 2 boxes of tissues. My son had like a white T-shirt they needed for some reason. Yeah, like Lysol wipes, an oddball number of markers. Like she said, it was like 7 markers, and the boxes, and the things only come in like packs of 8.
Yeah,
and so my wife just opened up the package, took one out, just looked through the package and the thing. So oddball stuff, but it's just it's strange. Anyway, I don't get it. I guess I get it more in the kindergarten, second grade, elementary school stuff, but like you said, high school, it doesn't really make too much of a sense. But anyway, also both of them are in soccer now. We changed from the Hilliard Soccer Association because they didn't have a clue how to run it. It was so disorganized and everything was pretty much bad. So we changed to a different organization. They're called the Northwest Football Club. It's in our area. Anyway, it seems to be a lot better organized. They're actually teaching the game and positions instead of just, I'm going to teach you how to, do a little foot thing and then, go kick the ball around go kick the ball around for an hour. The practices are like an hour and a half. My daughter has practice 2 times a week and a game on Sunday. Right. On Sundays, and the games are between the hours of noon and 7. I don't know what time. You don't have to show up there. They'll say, well, it could be any time between noon and 7. So I'm just like, okay. So I guess we'll find out. But the coach seems pretty genuine. He I don't know. I guess there's some kind of license for coaching. He says he's gone for several different licensing for refereeing soccer games. So I would imagine he knows what he's talking about when it comes to some things. So that, and my son is in it, so they're enjoying that a little bit. It just started, so it's kind of in the infancies here. And we had one practice get canceled because it was just pouring down rain one time. So at least they're not going to practice in the rain. That's a good thing. The last couple things are just kind of like little stories here. So my son is starting to get a little clever, and he's starting to make little jokes. He's always goofy. He's always making faces, and he's always never taking anything seriously. And we went to a restaurant one night. He had some chicken fingers that he cut up, and he was just eating them. And I was driving home, and I had ribs, and I had chicken wings, and I had a burger and stuff. So I was super hungry that night. And I was driving home and said, man, I had some ribs. And my son was like, what are the ribs? I'm like, cow ribs. The ribs, and there was meat on them. So I told him about that, and he was thinking about chicken. And I said, you had chicken, but you ate the chicken butt. You ate the chicken butt. And I was just being silly with him. And he was like, no, I ate the chicken pee-pee. And I said, what are you talking about? And he said, the nuggets. I ate the nuggets, right? The pee-pee. Get it? I was like, are you kidding me? And I looked back at him like the nuggets some people call that, you don't get it? Testicles? Yeah,
but that would be chicken balls.
Yeah, chicken balls. But I looked back at him, and I was actually genuinely laughing at him. And I said, that's great. Don't make that joke again. Don't do that again.
Go tell that joke to your mother.
Right. Yeah, I told him, don't tell your mother. It's funny, but don't tell your mother you said that. So we're getting into that phase where I'm laughing.
You so it was Rocky Mountain oysters?
Is that what they're called?
Well, the goat one. What was that? Was that Funny Farm? What movie was that where he's like...
that was Funny Farm. The lamb chops.
Lamb chops.
You really like them lamb chops, huh? 4 more and you'll break the record.
Sheep balls. The trick is to... I remember. The trick is to cut them up real high. And my daughter is getting to be a little sneak, is what she's getting to be. So
Jim boys over already.
What's that?
Jim boys over already.
No, not yet. But I have a feeling. Sorry, I have a feeling I'm in trouble. So. Usually the routine at night is I kind of put them to bed. I brush their teeth and I put them to bed. And a lot of the times I'll lay up there with them till they fall asleep. And sometimes I won't. I mean, it's more often than not I stay up there with them. But on the off chance I do come down, and I just kind of go down to the basement and I start playing a video game, and the light's half on. And sometimes my daughter will come down and say, "Good night, Daddy," and I'll say goodnight, and she'll try and sneak in and watch what I'm playing. And I'm like, "You better get yourself to bed." And she looks at me and goes, hee hee, and then she'll leave. Well, she did that same thing. She left. And about 10 minutes, I'm sitting there playing, and the basement is dirty because, the kids play down here. So there's toys and stuff all over the floor, and I'm just too lazy to pick it up because I don't want to pick it up anymore. So I'm sitting on the couch just playing a game, and the TV is in the same direction where the door is, but the door is just slightly off to my right. So I'll be playing a game, and I see something move out of the corner of my eye, just quick. It's like move, and I look over, and I don't see anything. Usually if I see something move, I'll look over there, and my daughter will peek her head by the door, and she'll be like, "Hi," and I was like, "Get your butt up to bed." But I didn't see anything this time, so I was like, all right, no big deal. So I start playing again, and about 5 minutes later, I see another little flash of something kind of move, and I look over, and I don't see anything again. And this happens like a couple of times. Finally, something moves, and I stop, and I just look, and I pause the game, and I look, and I stare in the direction, and I'm scanning everything around. And what I realize is my daughter is halfway between me and the door. She's laying face down on the ground with some kind of things over her, and she's been doing this little like these little sniper moves where they move really slow and they go. Whoop.
She's got a ghillie suit made out of toys.
Yeah, exactly. And she's just kind of whoop, like slowly. Yeah, and she made it from like halfway from the door to me, which is a good 10 feet. And she's been doing that like really slow. And I'm like, "Get your butt back up to bed, you little sneak!" And man, Damian, she's gonna be a military sniper. I'm telling you. She was sneaky, but you know, I had to handle.
Train them young, man. Train them
It was
young.
definitely, but she was seriously like laying face down, like off this, not even looking at me, like anything. She was just, and then she would whoop, every now and then just kind of inch herself forward. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Just various stories like that. That was it was one of the more surprising things that she's done to me. But anyway, that's what I'm done on notes.
We'll go next. School started for us as well. The big fun drama that we had to deal with over the past few weeks is probably about 4 or 5 days before school started. My wife's friends with some of the moms here in the neighborhood, and a couple of them down the block that their kids get on the same have the same bus stop as our kids. So of course, you know, you see the same people out there every day. You kind of get to talk about stuff. And one of them had flipped their wig on Facebook, talking about just blowing up, and I talked to so and so, and I ate their face off, and blah blah blah. And my wife's like, "What?" Then my wife's like, "What is going on?" Apparently,
ate their face off like zombies.
They took our bus route away. Now, the way they determine busing for our schools is if you are a mile or more away, the bus will pick you up. The side street next to us has been putting up they've been putting up houses in this development for several years, since we moved in here like 5-6 years ago, and they finished that road late last year. Well, since the road was still technically under construction, even though the road was done, but they were still building houses, they didn't consider that as part of the being close to the school, so we were like 1.2 miles or something like that, so it was no big deal. Well, now that road and everything in that street is finished, they're saying that counts, and we are now 0.8 or 0.9 miles away from the school if they count that road. So now we are too close to get bused. So their expectation of my 7-year-old daughter in 2nd grade is that she is supposed to walk 0.9 miles.
That's so
to and from school.
Wow. Uphill both ways?
Yes, and yes, bare feet. Which I mean, it's I mean, there's sidewalks, right? I mean, we aren't talking those type of conditions. So I get that, but at the same time, you know, you think about way back in the day, or even when we were kids, that probably wasn't that big of a deal. But now today, you know, there's a lot more creepy type people out there, and you know, there's a lot more chances for kids to get into trouble and get into dangerous things and all that. So I mean, it's kind of far for what is it, K through 5 is what the age of her school is. So so basically that's what the lady was flipping out about, because apparently they were supposed to have mailed out letters to everyone in our neighborhood who was affected by this, but like no one on our street got this letter. And of course, again, we're finding this out less than a week ahead of time. So as you know, between my schedule and my wife's schedule, we don't have a lot of wiggle room for stuff like that, because we still basically pass in the morning and pass at night on the days that we both work. Luckily, we've been able to figure something out for now that works. And then my sister lives down the street, and her son still goes to that same school for another couple of years. So we end up working out something with her where she takes the kids in the morning, or takes my daughter in the morning. And then my wife picks my daughter and her son up in the evenings or in the afternoon. So, I mean, it's worked itself out, but man, that was a stressful few days here in the house, because my wife was just, it was obviously it was a big deal, especially when the bus stop was right in front of our house, and it was, you know, nice not having to worry about that. But
well, at least you got your sister or something to kind of family members to help out with that.
Well, and honestly, if you go back 1 block and over 1 block, that street dead ends, and where it dead ends is actually connected to part of the school's property, but there's no sidewalk or anything there. It literally is just like in the dead ends into the back field of the back yard of the school, I guess.
Would it be safe to say that she can walk a shorter distance to pick up the bus, or can she just like hop on the bus even though she's not on the route? Can you elect to just hop on the bus? You can set up like the street over or something.
Yeah,
like that?
if you want to, you know, obviously get permission or whatever from whoever lives there, you can do all that. Because my sister was actually going to do that for her son, because she was just far enough away, and then he's in some special class or something like that they would actually give busing for him. But then his bus ride was going to be like 45 minutes each way. to go, again, 1 mile. So for her, it was actually more convenient to just take him rather than have him spend an hour and a half on a bus. So, I mean, we technically could have arranged it, but then we would have had to set something up, drive, 3 blocks down the street, which if we're going to drive that far to drop her off at a bus stop, might as well just go ahead and take her to school and save
I
that
was
time
thinking
and
if it
hassle.
was closer to walk to the bus stop than it was to walk 9 miles.
Not really. And even so, I mean, then you got to worry about, is the bus late today, and you got to wait with them and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, crisis mostly averted for right now. We'll see. My son is in his pre-K class, and the school he's going to for that does have a bus now. So since it's a different school, and that's been working out pretty well. The only thing we may run into is, since my wife's picking up my daughter, the window from when my daughter gets out to when my son's bus is supposed to drop him off is about 20 minutes. So on a normal day when everything's working fine, that's plenty of time. But if anything ever happens where my daughter gets out of class late, or maybe his bus is early, that's kind of going to be a sticky situation. But we'll see. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, rather, which is the reason why part of the reason why we recorded so early, is it's the second weekend in August, so it's time to go down to Kentucky to the Holler for the family reunion.
All right.
And
My favorite.
Some good food.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Wasn't there like a pie? Wasn't there like a legendary pie or something that somebody makes?
Yeah, my mother-in-law, but
That's
I don't think she made that this year. But I mean, basically, and I was thinking about this year because it's like you get up, you go down there, and they make a big old breakfast, and it's eggs, it's fried bologna, it's bacon, it's all this stuff. It's like you go down there, biscuits, homemade biscuits and gravy, and you sit there and you eat until you want to puke. And you just sit there, and like, there's not a whole lot to do. I mean, obviously you're there to hang.
You know you want it,
right? I mean, you're down there to see family and stuff like that, but really you go down there to eat, right? And so you get done with breakfast, like, oh my god, I'm so disgusted, I can't believe it. And then you start thinking, I wonder what we're having for lunch.
It's like you haven't even gotten your digested yet.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that's how you tell what time of the day it is. I mean, because there's not like clocks everywhere. It's like, oh, okay, are they making lunch yet? Okay, it must be around noon or whatever. But
the only person that has a watch is the cook.
It was ridiculously hot down there, and not even just like hot, but humid. I think one of the days it was 110, and the humidity was just off the charts. It was just like you just sit there and just sweat, and there's nothing else you can do.
In their tents or something?
Yeah. No, you would die if you were in a tent. I mean, you have to sit out and just kind of find some shade, and they've got like fans hooked up to the shelter house and stuff like that. But yeah, it was just brutally hot. But other than that, I mean, everything went off without a hitch. The kids, it's a lot easier now that the kids are a little bit older. We've actually talked them into sleeping in the same cabin with my mother-in-law and father-in-law, so that actually gave my wife and I the camper to ourselves, which was a nice new thing and not anything we've had since we started going down there with the kids. So that was nice. It was a nice little getaway because, again, we're down in the holler. There's no cell phone signal, nothing like that, so it's just nice to just kind of unplug and get away, and you don't wear socks or sleeves for like about 5 days, and just kind of relax and sweat and eat. So,
did you get the meat sweats?
Yeah.
It's relaxing. You get to get down there and just eat and sweat.
That's about it. Yeah.
Hot today.
Hot tomorrow.
Let me check my. Look at that sweat spot.
The last thing I had for this section of the show is that I mentioned we've lived here for about 6 years. The town I live in, it's not really a big town, but it's also not a small town either. It's kind of, I mean, there's a college campus here, so you could technically say it's a campus town, but I wouldn't say it's like a
College?
Ohio Wesleyan. It's
okay.
I think it's a Catholic school. Huh?
Isn't it called Wesleyan? Or am I wrong?
Okay. It's one of those tomato things.
Okay.
So I mean, we've got a Kroger, we've got a Meijer, we've got a Tim Hortons. Yeah, I mean, there's stuff here, right?
Tim Hortons? Oh
yeah.
man.
Well, it's a Tim Hortons and Cold Stone combo, actually.
Oh, it's one of
if
those.
you order a smoothie, you got to tell them whether you want the Tim Hortons smoothie or the Cold Stone smoothie. But as long as we've been here, there's this little movie theater here in town, and it's it's one of those quaint little old-timey historic buildings, and they have the big marquee out, and they have to put the letters up by hand and everything like that. And it actually looks really nice. Like they've done a lot of renovations and stuff to it recently, you can kind of tell. But we've never been there as long as we've lived here. So last night we had a rare moment where the mother-in-law wanted to watch the kids, and she said, guys, go out and go watch a movie and have dinner. And we're like, okay. So they were playing Bad Moms, which I'll talk about later. My wife wanted to see that really bad. I didn't, but with her schedule...
It totally looks bad.
Well, with her schedule, it's not because she was totally fine with going to see that with one of her girl, friends, space friends, whatever.
Okay.
She really wanted to go see that with them, but just because of her work schedule and their schedule and stuff, that's really hard for her to do. So, and we had that time, so okay, we'll go see it. But yeah, it was a nice little theater. They had, like I said, it was only it was really well done. They had brand new seats and modern seats and stuff like that. It was only like $7 a ticket, so not bad. But the one thing I wasn't expecting is, how when you go in to see a movie now, they don't just show the trailers and the movie and you're done. They have all the commercials and stuff.
Oh, God, I hate that.
Yeah, well, this is a small town theater, so they play commercials for local businesses.
Hey, that's at least something, I guess.
It is something, and...
Yeah.
Wait a minute, did Kevin Kerr just pop up there?
No, he's not that local. I mean, we're talking like way local, like mom and pop businesses.
The one right next door to the cinema.
Yes. Lots of those. And to where it's like, you could tell they just kind of used like a phone or a GoPro or something like that and edited using Microsoft Movie Maker, like with the Comic Sans text that just kind of floats in from the right. That just, I mean, it's really bad quality, but
it's the one from UHF, right? I got red cars. I got green cars.
And it's at first because they're at least self-aware, so it's very tongue in cheek. They know they're doing bad acting, so at least they like really ham it up. And that was really kind of funny for like the first 3 to 5. Of the commercials, but then we're sitting there and they keep playing and they keep playing and they keep playing, and they're not different. They're not the same ones. It's different ones every time. And we're like, oh my God, how many businesses we're trying to think are left in the town? So then they dim the lights and they start showing the real trailers. Like, okay, that was getting pretty rough. But then they end up splicing in more commercials in between the trailers, and some of these things, like one of them was for some special geek day at the local library, and they had all these librarians dressed up as like sci-fi characters and stuff, and it was just so bad and ham-fisted delivery, and it was just like, this is just so awful.
Did you go there though?
Where, to the movie theater?
To the geek day.
No, it's like months. It's like months away. So.
Oh, okay. So they're going to be playing that one for a while, is what you're saying.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a nice experience, and overall, it was a different thing, and we got to say we finally got to do it. I guess for living here as long as we have, and I guess go support your local theater, but man, be prepared.
I appreciate that rather than seeing like Mario Lopez up on the screen saying, "Hey, do you know what made the X-Men movie very special? Stay in that seat and find out." Or something.
Yeah, no, I get you there, and like I said, the first like half a dozen or so, I would have been fine with. I'm like, yeah, hey, that's a good idea, good on them, and I'm glad that the community's getting something out of this, but. After a while, though, it was like, holy moly, come on, guys.
Theater does that too.
Yeah.
Like half and half, yeah, or local. Well, it's not like it's like a standard cinema, like a Cinema 16 or whatever. But they'll do like half local commercials and half not.
I guess I'm too corporate when it comes to movies, because most of the time when I go see them, it's usually 15 minutes of Coca-Cola or Pepsi or whatever it is. I'm just like, okay, yes, I get it. You want me to drink Coke and be a fat slob.
Yeah, I think to me those are easier to tune out. But when you're in the smaller setting and it's just so blatantly bad, it's like you can't not.
I have no problem whipping out my phone and going, yeah, screw that.
It's like a slow motion car wreck, and you just can't not look. But you don't want to see it. There it is. It's right there. But that's all I had. Damian?
All right. Well, let's see. I'm gonna start off and go backwards. So. I don't want to be sexist or anything, but it's kind of funny to me. Too late. it's kind of funny to me that I'm the one doing laundry, and so my wife every now and then will help out, and she's got this running joke where she's all like, I did laundry and I did it right, and I'm like, I always find something wrong. And like right now, we get into the biggest arguments because she puts the towels in and she puts them on time dry. And I'm like, no, it goes heavy duty. I'm like, the only thing time dry is my sweatshirt after the gym. Like, it's not that hard. So she's like, okay, I got it. And then, so like the next time laundry comes up, which we do it twice a week, she's like, she looks at me grinning and she goes, okay, I put the towels in on heavy duty, ha ha ha. And I'm like, okay, why is that a joke? That's what they're supposed to be on. She's like, no, they're supposed to be on time dry. That's why it's funny. I was like, no, they're supposed to be on heavy duty.
What happens? What happens when they're on time dry?
What happens when they're on time dry? I'll tell you what happens. I go there 9 o'clock at I go there 9 o'clock at night, go to fold the towels that should be dry, and they're sopping wet because they've only been in there for like 40 minutes, if that. Oh,
they're just not dry. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, they're soaked, right? Not just like a little damp, like, oh, all right, well, no big deal. No,
yeah, they can dry in where they're folded, right?
Right, yeah, they are freaking saturated. It's like, what did you do? And of course, my natural instinct is to think, what kid did laundry? And then she's all like, no kid, me. And it's just, I'm like, what are you gonna do when I'm dead? Like, what's your plan? Like, you better remarry a guy that knows how to do laundry because you are failing at it. And she's like, shut up. And I'm like, I think I got you spoiled too much. Again, I know the whole, I go outside, I do man stuff, man, over the earth, I cut my grass and work it outside in the heat, you stay inside. And yet, you can't do that. Like, I gotta go out in the heat and work, and then I gotta come in and clean up behind you with the laundry, so, just a little bit of a rant. My daughter...
She's trying, Damian.
Yeah, she's trying, all right.
Let's make her a chart.
I should. I want to make like one of those. I want to make one of those picture things like the little retarded kid had in 6th Sense, where he's like, fire, hot, home. Yeah, put towels, heavy duty, regular laundry, normal.
Wait. Was that 6th Sense or was that the other Bruce with the Simon?
Was that Mercury Rising? Yeah, Mercury Rising. Okay, yeah, my bad. Mercury Rising. Yeah.
So wait, you should just change heavy duty to towels. You just scratch the thing off.
Right, there you go. I'm gonna get some little white paper and just tape it over it and put clothes, towels.
After workout.
Right. Do not put here. That's a good idea. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Solving problems.
I'm a retard-proof my dryer. So my daughter's been aggravating my wife for a new dog ever since Cujo died. And my wife's always told me that if I get a new dog, she'll get a divorce with me. And despite what...
I guess you don't need the laundry anymore, right?
Mine too.
Despite what my wife thinks, I do love her more than the dogs, even though she swears I love the dogs more than her. But, I'm just saying if the dogs could do laundry, there probably wouldn't be any mistakes. There probably wouldn't be any mistakes. But anyway, so...
Just change the time dry to bark, and then it'll do it.
So my wife has always told them that. Well, my daughter has been aggravating her and wearing her down, and then lately my wife went off on a rant about how they don't help, they don't do anything for the dogs, it's up to me to do them for them because she doesn't do anything because she doesn't want the dog, so anytime there is something to clean up, it's me, and she hates having all the dog hair around the house, blah, blah, blah. Well, my daughter finally wore her down, and she was like, fine, get a dog, I guess, as long as it's female, because we have a problem with our male dog making in the house. Female, and go to the pound and find a small one. So I go to the pound and I found it's called a chai weenie. So it's a Chihuahua mixed with
a. You went to pound. Pick that up. Was that the Lion's Den?
Wait, I heard pound or what?
He doesn't know about that.
Yeah,
you guys don't have the Lion's Den over there.
No, that's Ohio, dude. It's the Ohio porn.
Is it just Ohio porn chain?
Yeah, it's the Ohio porn chain. They don't have discount jerky though.
Okay.
Oh, Okay, yeah, I don't know what that is, so, okay, that's your
When you
joke.
come up, I'll take you there. Oh.
You can laugh at it. So I got it from the pound. It's a Chai weenie. It's part Chihuahua, part Dachshund. Brindle, which is the description for the tiger striped looking dogs. She's brown with like black stripes in her.
Yeah.
Very sweet dog. Poor thing though. So she gets fixed. They tag her and they spade her before I get her. So I go pick her up, bring her home. She's very shy, very quiet, and of course I guess it's from being in a new house, and she just had this surgery. She's got stitches down her middle. And the funny thing is, so my daughter ended up being home that day, so she comes with me to go get the dog, and I'm explaining to her, I'm like, look, this dog, she's coming from the pound, and my daughter's like, well, is she gonna like it? And I'm like, I'm sure she's gonna love it. She's used to being in like just a small cage area, and now she's got the whole house to go through, and she can go into the yard anytime she wants and wander around out there. She's got this whole big open area. I was like, she was basically confined to just like a closet. There's a little bitty area, and now she's getting to have the whole house all to herself. Funny analogy, because this dog gets so scared and doesn't want to be around people, and I guess is comfortable in small spaces, that when we bring her home, she goes sniffing around and everything, but then after that she just wanders into my daughter's closet and lays down. So then my daughter takes some pillows and puts them on the floor, and lo and behold, like, that is the dog's room. So then my son sees that, and he's thinking, oh, well, I'm going to do the same thing. So he puts pillows on his floor. Well, I guess she likes his room better, or it's in the middle. I don't know, but she goes to his room now. But thing is like her closet, like that's her room. So she'll come out, and she's a lot better now with the family, coming out more and more social. But at the same time, it's like when we're done or when she's had enough, she's like, okay, I'm going back to my room. I'm just going to go in the closet.
Same thing, man.
Wow.
Yep. He does that. When we first got him, we had a cage. We had a crate, and we left it open. But we had a couple blankets in there, and every night he would go right back into that cage, and we wouldn't close the door on him. He would just go back in, and it was just something about being enclosed that would be where he was safe, where he thought he was safe. And eventually he ended up coming out, and we have a dog bed that's in the corner of the living room, but there's a chair in front of it, and that's where he'll go sleep most of the time because it's kind of out of the way, and it's kind of covered where he's somewhat hidden, but that's where he goes. So. Yeah,
I guess it's just from being in kennels for so long, or that's their safe place. But yeah, I ended up getting another kennel out the shed because we had to lock up my one dog because he pees all over the house when nobody's home. But so whenever we leave, he gets locked up. Well, now I got to do the same thing for her. Like she is not learning how to be potty trained or our schedule, so she gets locked up. But same as you, when I first put it out there, she goes in it on her own, and then when it's time for us to leave, she's like happy to go in there and happy to get locked up. It's like, okay, well, whatever, it keeps you from peeing all over the house, so be it. And then I went back Thursday to get her stitches removed. So she goes there and she's all excited. She's in a new area and everything. And then so the lady's like, okay, I'm gonna take her to the back. I'm like, okay. So I give her the leash, and she goes to give it to the leash, and the poor dog just starts like coming at me and doesn't want to go into the back. Just like, no.
Like, I'm not going.
I can wipe my own butt, right? Like the kid from Big Daddy. And so I felt so bad, but eventually she was only back there for like a minute, I guess, while they cut the stitches out. And then they bring her back to me. Man, she takes off for the door. And she just sits at the door and looks at me and cries and looks at me and cries. And I'm like,
I'm done. I'm ready.
Right. I'm done. I'm done visiting this place. Like, seriously, you're not leaving me here. So I thought that was pretty funny. Then, okay. So then my big news is that we decided to get a second opinion with my daughter. Apparently what my wife didn't tell me was the last time we went and did this EEG for my daughter was that the doctor comes in and tells us everything looks good, everything looks fine, but when she gets the paperwork back, it says on there that it's abnormal. So we're at the point where we're like, okay, which one is right? Is it the notes that are right and the doctor got his wires crossed, or is the notes wrong and the doctor knows what he's talking about? And my wife said that there was other things that this doctor has done along the same thing, and we felt like it was time to get a second opinion. So
He's illiterate. You went to an illiterate doctor.
Yeah, we found the one.
Sure.
Right, and it's also that he's old, so like I'm pretty sure like he probably doesn't even know where he's at half the time. You know, he probably wanders into the lobby with the nurses and is like, "Where's Margaret? Where's my wife?" And they're like, "No, doctor, you're at work. It's okay. You got to go to see
your patient."
Yeah,
Walks in, he's got no pants.
right.
Who's next?
Who wants a mustache ride?
So we decided to get a second opinion, and we found somebody who's closer. Originally, they told us that the only one who could do it was in New Orleans who would accept kids. So we found a neurologist right in the next city over, and we called them, and sure enough, they take kids my daughter's age. So we're like, okay, we want to set up an appointment. So we go have an appointment, and he's like, well, when's the last time she did EEG? When's the last time she did an MRI? Well, the MRI, the last time she did one was like 4 years ago when she first started seeing the doctor. He ordered one, and he hadn't had one since. And this doctor's like, ooh, he's like, I do them every year. So
Yeah, they're kind of a yearly thing.
Right. But this other doctor didn't tell us that. We knew nothing about this. We're just going off the one doctor that we've been to, and we're like, okay, one time, that's good enough. So he's like, no.
He's old and he has no pants, right?
Right, he's old, no pants. So that doctor's like, no, things can change and we need to verify. So like, okay, I'm like, all right, I'm going to take off of work and we're going to go and take care of this, no problem. So I take off of work. That's the day we go get the dog. We go get the dog. We come back. About getting ready to be about noon. Appointments for 12:30, so we're getting ready to go. I get a phone call from my son. Hey, Dad, I'm at school and something's wrong with my eye, and the nurse says that she thinks I scratched my cornea because it's like gushing tears and it's all red, and I think I need to be taken to the doctor to be checked out. It's like, seriously, dude? Like, I don't have enough on my plate right now that you need this? So luckily my wife took off. So at this point, we're like, okay, I'm going to drop you off at the doctor's office. You go in, do the EEG. I'm going to take him to the eye doctor and get him checked out. Go pick him up. He looks so weird because he's got this skin-colored Band-Aid over his left eye. So he's not cool like a pirate. He just looks like he literally has no left eye. Like it's just like a cyclops with the eye just, off center. It's like, oh my goodness, like, right, and so
One Eye Willie.
So I'm like, okay, we're gonna take you to the doctor, just leave it on. He's like, oh, it hurts, and I'm like, well, if you got a scratch cornea, I'm like, I've had that, it's not gonna feel good, but you just gotta deal with the pain, like, suck it up. So he's like, oh, it hurts. So I drop off my wife and daughter. I go bring him to the eye doctor. At that point, they take the bandage off. His eye looks fine. There's no tears. It's not even red. I'm like, my God. I'm like, you took your contact out, right? Because he wears contacts. He's like, yes, sir, I got my contact out. So the doctor looks him over, checks everything he can. He's like, look, I don't see anything. He's like, there's no scratches. There's no, he doesn't have any kind of virus like pink eye or anything like that. He's like, there's nothing. I'm going to prescribe to him antibiotic steroid, do that for 5 days. If it doesn't go away or he still has discomfort, bring him back. I'm like, okay, no problem. So get him, head over to my wife and daughter. They finish up their thing. Still takes like another hour. And now, 2 days ago or so, my wife has been, because we do the test, but now we don't meet with the doctor for another 2 weeks for him to go over the results. So my wife's been a nervous wreck, and she's checking this website every day to find out what's going on. Well, lo and behold, they put up the results of what became of my daughter's MRI. And right. She has some kind of, I don't know, my wife told me all these technical terms, right? Doctor jargon. She has some kind of anomaly that wasn't there before and is there now. We don't know what it is. Of course, my wife is freaking out. I'm telling her, just calm down. If it was an emergency, they would call us. Well, today the doctor's office calls us and says, yeah, we can't talk to you over the phone about it, but we need you to come in. But at the same time, the doctor is booked fully for the next 2 weeks. So we can't go in to talk to you about it for 2 weeks, but we can't tell you what it is over the phone either. So, Yeah. So my wife's like, I'm trying to put on my big girl panties. I'm trying not to freak out. I'm like, look, just chill out. She seems fine.
Well, and if it was something very concerning, I'm sure they would say you need to go somewhere now. Like, yeah, when Christian's wife bleeds out the face, they're like, no, you got to go now.
Right, right.
It's not anything like
right.
that.
I mean, it's nothing like that. But is it something where they're like, start discussing like long-term plans of what's going to happen? I don't know. The fact is, these weren't there before, and they're there now, and this could very well be why her seizures have gotten worse.
There's multiple.
I think she said there was like 2. So It could explain why the seizures have gotten worse, why her medicine wasn't working or quit working and we had to do different medicine or more dosage or whatever. But then my wife's biggest concern, which to me is still not that big of a deal as long as she's able to live a somewhat normal life, is that she's not going to grow out of it. Because I guess when she first did the MRI and they did this analysis and they didn't see these spots or whatever the heck they're called, they were like, oh, well, that's good. That means that she can grow out of it. So now that the spots are there, my wife is overly concerned that she won't grow out of it. But I'm just like, look, there's adult people everywhere that still have seizures that live completely normal lives for the most part, just by taking medicine and monitoring it. And if that's the worst that she has to worry about, then so be it. I mean, there's worse things that she can have than this. So just be thankful for that, and hopefully it's not bad news. But so I guess I'll fill y'all in 2 weeks. But that's what's going on with her. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's why I went last.
Good.
I knew I was going to be the downer again this week. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, so back to your son's eye.
Okay.
Did he say anything like what he was doing before all this happened, or like? I have a theory that like maybe it was a math test or something that got in his eye, and like, I need the nurse.
Not this close to school. I think he probably just had a little reaction to his contact lens, and as soon as he got it out, his eye started to heal up a little bit.
Maybe. It's definitely, I think, something to do with the contact. And, of course, the doctor said, look, no contacts for the next week while he's doing these eye drops and everything, kind of give the eye a rest. But he has been doing good with taking them out every night and putting them in every morning. So he's been doing good with that. But, he's always complained about his contacts. Like, it feels weird. It feels funny. And, my wife and I are just like, look, Tristan, we've had contacts. We use them our whole life. It feels weird at first, but you get used to it. Like, you just need to leave it in there. Quit, suck it up. It's just, I don't know, it feels weird. It's like, okay, then you need to wear glasses. No, wear glasses. Like, dude, you can't. You can't. Something to drink. You can't.
I mean, you can always get like a cybernetic implant.
Yeah, you can't. You can't have it both ways. I don't want to wear glasses, but I want to be able to see 20/20. It doesn't work like that,
It would be cool if he had a cybernetic implant. I see where you're going with that.
Some type of human cyborg combination.
What?
No way.
No, are you talking about dividing mankind?
Dividing the X Deus, the God X, whatever that means.
It's the game backwards. Deus Ex, mankind divided.
Yeah, so hey, I know why we're talking about that. Why don't we go ahead and do the ESR Beware, because that's the same game.
No kidding.
Wow.
That's amazing. I was just thinking about doing the ESR Beware.
Oh, that's a great idea, Dan. Why don't you?
Oh, okay.
Tell us about it.
Tell us about it? Deus Ex, Mankind Divided. It's for all the things, except the Wii U, because that only plays Nintendo games anymore. Rating is M for mature, and I don't... We're going to relay this? Let's relay this.
Sure, you read in any type of robot voice as long as you can.
Okay. Me. This is a first-person shooter in which players assume the role of an Interpol agent, Adam Jensen, trying to uncover the truth behind a terrorist bombing. As players complete mission-based objectives, they use pistols, shotguns, rifles,
pew pew,
and cybernetic weaponry. To kill human enemies and cybernetically enhanced soldiers. Take it away, Damian.
Players can also use both lethal and non-lethal stealth attacks to incapacitate enemies at close range. Realistic gunfire, large explosions, and blood splatter effects frequently occur during firefights. Civilians and police officers can also be killed directly. This is in violation of Directive 4, though this may negatively affect players' progress. Next.
Chris.
Tapping out.
Chris, go.
This game contains sexual material, text, dialogue referencing prostitution. For example, like what you see.
Oh, yeah.
And see it up close for the right price.
Cha-ching.
And do not trust the rest of the whores in Prague, sweetie. Stick with the red light professionals. Women in revealing outfits, pole dancing inside a club. Window parlors depicting men and women dancing in their underpants.
Underwear.
Damian's doctor.
Right. His underwear.
You need an MRI?
In a red light district depict topless women.
Yeah. Baby.
During the course of the game, alcoholic beverages, for example, beer, ale, absinthe,
Oh, man, it's the hipster.
the good stuff, can be purchased and consumed, resulting in a screen blurring effect.
All right.
Take it away and finish off.
Okay. I'll do my cancer voice box. A handful of scenes depict drug paraphernalia on a table and dealers selling fictional drugs to customers. Text also references drug use. For example, if it gets back to Otar you are using, you'll be strung up. We can't pollute ourselves like the Clanks do.
The Clanks.
The words F star K and SH star T are heard in the game.
I love how they use the word clanks. That's like Ratchet and Clank. Ah, the clanks are coming.
Man, it seems like this game centers a lot on like prostitution and dancing.
Aren't they like cybernetic
I
boobies?
feel like some Duke Nukem up in here. Man, shake it, baby.
It's a GTA robot.
Yeah, so run out and buy it for the kids.
Buy it for
Absolutely.
your cybernetically enhanced
But
kid.
I'm going to take them to go see Sausage Party.
Yeah.
Yeah, we normally try to do free games, but we only had the Microsoft list, and none of those were really good for this. So
We could have done it with Horizon. We could have done it in, like, Vin Diesel or something.
Robin is
I don't know. Just Robin's racing.
I am Groot.
Anybody play this yet? Hear much about it?
I heard a lot of good things about it.
I want to.
Yeah, I heard it was really good. I played a little bit of the other Deus Ex that came out, and I liked it. It was fun, just very involved, and I didn't have the time to devote to it. But I heard that this one's even better, that it's improved upon. I mean, it sounds awesome. So I don't know. I'm definitely interested in picking it up. So I don't know. But
I'm gonna wait for it to come down, I guess.
yeah, I might wait for a little bit of a sale, but I might not wait till it drops like all the way to 20, maybe like 30 or 40.
Yeah, it's Square Enix, and I can tell you one thing, and especially on PC, that their stuff goes on sale, and it goes on sale often and for cheap, and usually ends up on humble bundles. Like, I can't count the I probably have 2 or 3 copies of the last Deus Ex just from various things.
And like this one right now, it's only for Xbox, but you can buy Deus Ex and get another game free. So
Yeah, I think I saw that.
yeah, so I mean, you pay the full $60, but you can end up with 2 games.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, let's head on into game time.
Can I have a turn?
Why don't we let Chris go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Chris go.
Chris, do it.
All right, so I've been playing quite a bit. I'll start off with been playing a lot of Star Ocean 5 lately, trying to get that finished.
That's the faithfulness and
integrity and faithlessness or whatever. I think
faithlessness. Yeah, God,
Yeah.
so many pretentious.
Wait, what game?
Star Ocean.
It's
Star Ocean.
It's
Okay,
It's
okay.
It's not Square.
Now is that the new
It
one?
is.
That's the
It's
new
Square
one,
Enix
huh?
One, yeah.
Okay.
It's Square. It's Square and Tri-Ace.
Yeah, is that good? I was interested in that. Awesome.
It's actually better than the Last Hope that came out.
Oh, I have that. I need to play that.
Oh man, good to hear.
Those are deep, right? Like
yes, it is
100-hour plus type.
Yeah, kind of. It's about on the lines of length of like Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, get your money's worth.
Yeah, I tried to play it
definitely get your
time
money's
ago. Yeah, and there was a lot to it. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's very involved. I like it a lot. I mean, it's changed since the last one I played. So everything else, let's see. I've been playing a lot of Resogun with Dan.
Yeah.
I just now figured out my problem with getting all the extra content, so I was able to do that. Haven't done much else with it than test it all out.
Yeah, we can play Protector and Commando. Yeah.
Yeah. Song of the Deep. I haven't played that in a while, but I did get it. I like it. It's kind of Metroid-esque, per se. And like Shadow Complex, where you can only go so far until you get the next weapon or thing to help you out.
Pick that up too. I haven't played it yet though.
Yeah, it's really good. I think I'm like 45 minutes into it before I stop playing.
I'm a good 45 minutes in, and I'm almost.
But I like it. It's a real beautiful game. Graphics are perfect in it. It's a good story too. Battlefield 4. I've been playing around with that every now and then. My son plays it more than I do at the moment.
I heard there was just a new update, like in the past few days, where they totally took out the what was the whole structure in there
they redid the menu.
They redid the whole menu structure.
No, but I heard like they took out the battle. What's it called? The battle
log.
Yeah, they took out battle log.
No, it's still incorporated, but it's easier to play with friends and join with friends now than it was.
No, I mean like yesterday or today.
Right, that's what we're talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they completely revamped it because now what you're supposed to be able to do is when Battlefield 1 comes out.
Yeah.
Have both games installed. I think you're able to switch. You're able to use the same menu for both games.
Gotcha.
It'll be the same thing with. I guess they're adding Hardline to that soon.
Oh, that's cool.
So they kind of created like a central, like a battle.
Yeah, like a central hub, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, almost like a Origins on your console.
Yeah, exactly. And then Geometry
God
Wars
help us.
I downloaded that. Saturday Morning RPG. I downloaded that again. Played that on PC. I love the crap out of it, so I figured I'd get it again.
Is it got more content on this one than the PC one? Because I know the PC one had like it left when I played it. It only had like 2 or 3 chapters, and then it left off. And I think they were meant to add like more chapters that I just never got.
No, I haven't. I've only played it for like maybe 20 or 30 minutes just to get it started.
Okay.
But I did play it all the way through on the PC 3 or 4 years ago. I think when you guys were raving about it before. And then I've been messing around again with Lego Star Wars for The Force Awakens. They added an extra story since I had the season pass with that, so I played that. Final Fantasy X. I'm messing around with that every now and then.
Man, you are all over the place. Jeez.
Yeah, I am. I have severe gaming ADD.
And this isn't like play for 10 minutes. You're talking Star Ocean, Final Fantasy.
He's telling us everything since the last time he was on the show.
Oh.
This is like a year.
Man, I'm just like, holy crap.
He's been keeping a list.
Actually, all this has been done like the last couple weeks. So,
see?
I have real bad ADD when it comes to gaming. And then lastly, the 2 mobile games I've been playing religiously is Star Wars and Mobius Final Fantasy.
Yeah! So you get 2 yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Did you get your Emperor yet?
I will have it tomorrow morning, I believe.
Nice.
I need like 10 more shards for pigs, and I'll have it.
Nice.
You need shards?
Shards.
This is a shark crossing.
There's a guy that we work with that I've worked with at the different company, but he pronounces charts like spreadsheets that we send him. He spreadsheets and charts. He goes charts. And every time he says it, we makes him laugh. I've looked at your charts. Like, okay, yeah, you did.
Have you smelled my sharts, Magma?
Have you seen the chart? Yes, I've seen the chart, and I got some data from it. Oh, good. Never mind. Back off now.
But yeah, that's it for me. kind of all over the place.
Well, I'll go after that since we had a couple of commonalities there. Mobius Final Fantasy, still playing that. I finally finished Chapter 2, like legit cleared every level in Chapter 2. Got a couple extra jobs on it. Did the special event, the poo-poo attacks.
Oh, you did that?
I did the whole thing, yeah. The
Yeah,
poo-poo
I did that, and I did the other event. By saying I did them, I mean I tapped on the thing and then I let it auto battle, and then I tapped on the next thing and there's absolutely zero strategy or anything.
They need to fix a little bit of that because the auto battle fights a hell of a lot better than I ever would.
Right. There's no point in, like I said, I'm not really going to go so far as say I'm playing this game. I'm tapping buttons.
I still like it. I'm making lots of progress, and I mean it's good for me because I can just kind of let it play when I'm at work, and I can just kick it off and let it play. And okay, I lost that battle. Let me change up my cards, and then I'll play it again. So,
yeah, it's just that, and by the end of that other event, I had maxed out everything that I had on there. So like I had to go and I forced myself to get a new job and pick these different ability cards just so I was not wasting experience. But I was just like, I have so many of the. Like the things that bring you back to, I think they're Phoenix Downs.
Oh, the elixirs?
Elixir. I have so many of those things. I've never had to use them. Like I don't. Yep, again, it's still a great looking game, but I don't see, like you don't think, and it just I don't know.
I don't think you're thinking like. In some of the other Final Fantasy ones, you don't think. You just basically play the lower levels.
No, because when you're doing you're doing what was the Brave Exvius, I mean you can't just auto attack every single battle. You have to stop and do take advantage of weaknesses. You have to heal. You have to pay attention. You can't just hit that thing and then go make a sandwich and come back and collect your stuff.
I'm okay with auto battling. Just doing it. I dig it. Maybe that's the reason why I like it.
I appreciate auto battle for some, especially for like record keeper. Like that was a godsend when they finally added that. But I want a reason to not just auto battle. Like record keeper, you auto battle until the boss, and then you actually. You might actually have to do some stuff. Brave Exvius is kind of the same way. This is just every single thing is an auto battle, and there's no chance at all.
Fight so much better than I do.
Yeah, I know. It's like, why wouldn't I? So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's fine. Point taken. I still dig it. So what else is I was? Resogun, getting my heart back into Resogun. Man, that game is like a couple years old now. It was the launch game PS4, and you just picked it up, you said, right?
I've had it. I've actually had it since I've had my PS4, but I've only played it maybe once or twice. I downloaded it. So.
Yeah, you play with me, you'll be playing a lot more now.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
So playing that one again, really still love it. And staying on the shmup thing, so I finished up in Assault Android Cactus, which is a twin-stick shooter. It reminds me of the old kind of Super Nintendo kind of games. The story, I mean, there really isn't much of a story. It's just hey, let's just if I have an excuse to blow things up, which was a lot of fun. However, the last boss in that game, Jeremy, I know you have that rule, no more than 3 forms kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Usually in shmups, and you can get away with a couple more extra. Yeah. Maybe 4 at most. Mm. This last boss had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 forms.
Seriously?
And and it was a pain. I mean, they were fast. I mean, they were like, if you did it right, you took them down in less than 30 seconds. So I mean, the forms are fast, but it was just like, God, really? Another one? Jeez. And then it would be the second to last form, and you die, and you got to start over and fight that boss again. It was frustrating, but it was, I don't know, it was kind of like a satisfying frustrating. It kind of forced me to get better at the game. So I could appreciate that. But so, decent game.
The Dark Souls of shooters.
No, I've played the Dark Souls of shooters. I say that and I can't name it.
Shushimi?
No.
Just shoot me. Yeah.
That's the garbage of shooters. Anyway, played Jamestown too. Jamestown Plus. I remember a while back I purchased a DLC for that. That was the couple extra boards and extra ships and stuff. So I made it a point to just kind of sit down and play that. Man, that is a really good game. A really good shooter that you can just. The levels aren't as long as like some other levels where it only takes like maybe a couple of minutes to get through the level and then you're at the boss. And it's a bullet hell, but it's not a bullet hell in the same. Where you have to memorize every single pattern and you're just doing nothing but dodging bullets. It's a very doable bullet hell.
Bullet heck?
Yeah, I guess you could say it's a bullet heck. It's not a bullet hell, but it's a bullet purgatory, I guess. I don't know, somewhere between there. But it's still good. I recommend that one for anybody that likes shooters. And then now I'm going to put on my dark rim glasses and say I finished Journey. I picked that one up. I think it was on sale for a couple bucks. I think Christian, of all people, said it was worth like the couple bucks that I spent on it. That game is it's hard to describe that game. Has anybody else ever played that one?
I played a little bit.
Yeah. I know of it, and I've heard things like I know the premise and stuff, but I haven't actually experienced it.
Okay, so if I go through the whole thing and do the ending, are you going to spoiler me?
No, that's an old game.
Yeah, I mean, it's old, it's been cheap, and I think there's some type of incentive in the game to keep doing it or do it over and over. So
yeah, well, I haven't found that incentive because when I played the game, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, and then you have to figure things out, and I mean, it doesn't tell you anything, but I'm like, okay, so I do appreciate the games where you have to kind of figure out things yourself, and then you make that discovery. It's like, aha, that's what that does, and you finally get through. Anyway, you get to the end, and the way that the story kind of looks is like this whole prophecy. You're going to this light. You take this journey. And basically, this whole journey is just the dude to go up to die and ascend to whatever heaven, and then that's it. I'm like, okay.
What's your journey, man?
Well, I think my understanding is that like your scarf gets bigger the more times you go through it or something like that.
Well, it gets longer the more power-ups you pick up. Like there's these little card things that fly around, and your scarf gets longer, and depending on if your scarf is quote powered up, which means it has a lighter, that means that's how long you can hover in the air. And there are like some enemies that will decrease the size of your scarf, but other than that, it just seems like a regular platformer to me. It's just a very, very artsy one. I mean, to quote Christian, artful. But it was worth the money. I don't know if I'm going to play it again, though. I don't really want to play it again. The way it interacts with other players, I did actually run into other players. You don't have any way to communicate with other players. So you play the game, and it definitely sticks other players in your games, and you'll see them running around. But there's no way to interact with them. I mean, basically the only things you can do in the game is jump and do your little, I don't know, whatever this little telekinesis thingy is. That's the only thing you do. And you can try and work together, but it doesn't tell you their name of who you ran across, doesn't tell you the name of anybody that's in your game until you beat the game, and then it says which players you came across, and it lists their names. But, I mean, that's an interesting way to do it, but, Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to play it again, though. But the other game is I started Uncharted 4. So, I'm on Chapter 6 of that. I haven't... man, that game is pretty.
Yeah, it is.
That game
and you're actually in, like, the worst part of it right now, too. The worst part of the game.
Yeah, it gets better.
Yeah, that early part is a lot of just jumping around on cliffs.
Right.
I remember which part, because it's been a few days since I popped it back in. Chapter 6 was...
Once you get around in the teens, that's when it really...
Yeah, when you get to the pirate ship and stuff, man.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I do like the characters and stuff, especially Sully.
Oh, yeah.
He's in the auction, and then the guy, what's his name, Rafe, says something to him, and he's just like, all right, let's wreck this.
Wait till you get your brother. That's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, I was in a little bit of that one when he was doing that one.
Oh, yeah, you're in the...
With the auction, and then you're going around with him?
Yeah. But you're with him a lot, so there's a lot of interaction with him. Mm-hmm. And it's funny with them, because, especially their brothers, so they do a lot of their past. Like, oh, I remember you used to do this and that, and I mean, just... You just laugh at the banter between them back and forth. It's great.
Yeah, I do think it's a very, very well. I mean, Naughty Dog is good at making games and telling stories through game media. So I will say, from chapter 6 there, bravo guys, very good. So that's pretty much what I've been doing is just playing games. I picked up a couple of other games that aren't here yet because I ordered one from Play Asia, so it's got to make the trek from the Land of the Rising Sun. Is that where it is, Japan? To me, so I can play it. Anyway, but yeah, I'm good.
Cool. I don't have a lot. Certainly nothing really too new or anything. I mentioned last show I've been working on the story of Fallout 4, wanting to close that out. I made a lot of progress on that, and according to Captain Mike of Gamers in Beta, I'm probably only a few hours out. So I haven't quite seen what made him so upset at this point, but maybe I'll get there. Been killing some time with the Hearthstone expansion. Not going to go into that because I know you guys can't stand that, other than just to say Blizzard is continuing to support that game, which is free, and good on them for that. Last week,
the best money you never spent.
Yeah, I've thrown some money their way over the years that I've been playing that. Not a lot, but I've given them some change here and there.
A shekel or two.
Yeah. Played the Titanfall.
Yeah, what a big turd that is. I was just saying that.
I'll say I didn't enjoy it. I own the first one because I'm pretty sure at one point, like most of us, it was on sale for like $5 to $10 with all the expansion stuff. I've played maybe an hour of that and probably not even that much of the first one. Obviously, this was hey, let's check it out. I will say that I felt like I could do better in this one, not necessarily because I was getting more kills, because I certainly wasn't doing that. But at least in this, like I would be able to call down a Titan at least once or twice a match, where I might have been able to once in the last game. So there is that to it, but I also didn't really feel like being in a Titan was that much of an advantage.
No.
Also, and I don't know, I'm probably just getting old, but like I really like how when you get in the Titan and how it kind of brings in all the screens, it's instead of just having your view, it like kind of adds all the different screens. But that also is really jarring to me for some reason. Like I'm not going to go so far as to say, oh, I get sick or vertigo or anything like that. But anytime that happens, I'm just like, ugh. Like when those last two screens are going in, it takes me like a second to like kind of adjust to, and I don't know if it's a really good way that they did that. Like it's really tricking my brain into thinking something like that's happening, or it's just some stupid thing they do. I don't know, but yeah, I mean it's definitely not going to be for me. I'm not going to buy it. I guess I'll take that back. It looked great, I will say that. And going through the tutorial and stuff, there, it was, the guns felt really nice. There were a couple of them that I didn't like so much, but a few that I felt really comfortable with. And since this one is supposed to have a single player, maybe I'll get it for that at some point, because I can see maybe having fun with that. But just, and again, that's my personal taste. I don't enjoy the multiplayer, versus each other people's stuff and stuff like that. I played like 4 or 5 matches of whatever that standard. What the first type of match? What is that? Bounty?
Pilot versus pilot, I think it is.
Well, I think it's called Bounty or something like that.
Oh yeah, Bounty, yeah.
Yeah, so I played like those. Every single one, like it was extremely lopsided. Of course, I was on the losing team, which again, I've said in the past. I know I'm not great, but I also don't feel like my fault. The entire team is just like I think our high score on our team would have like 10 or 11 kills, and like the low score on their team would have like 15. Like that type of imbalance. So I don't know if it's matchmaking. I don't know if it's just I suck so bad that I bring everyone else down or what. But
well, they're probably not doing any matchmaking with this beta test. They're probably
and that could be it too. But like I said, it was every single match was like that. But again, I mean, I got to go around. I got a good feel for what it is, and that's really, as a gamer who's not really going to jump on the forums and say, I encountered this bug at this point when I was firing, like I'm not going to beta test for them. So it was fine for that. And, like I said, once reviews come out, if the single player is worth it, I'll maybe pick it up on a deal, but it's definitely not going to be in my multiplayer staple. No, you guys. Some of you guys have that down here too. What do you think?
Well, I played it that same night, and I think Damian and I played like 3 matches, and I was like, yeah, it's Titanfall.
Yeah,
Probably
we
not gonna
switched
buy
to
it.
Resogun after that.
Yep, that's exactly what we did.
I only played 1 match. I didn't really like the first one. I think I got it free from Origin on my computer ages ago.
Yeah.
And I think I made it past the tutorial and then I stopped.
Yeah.
So
I will say one thing I extremely did not like about it is your Bob Wagner kills don't count anywhere. Like
they can count them, yeah.
Because that was my saving grace is knowing that your Bob Wagner kills, and if you don't know what a Bob Wagner kill is, then you should go back to around episode 48 or something like that, whenever Paul Mick was on, and you could hear the origin of the Bob Wagner. But yeah, because there was one point I had like a whole field of them, and I was in a Titan. I'm just like blam 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 blam. Like, all right, at least I'm gonna get something out of this match. And it's like nope, nothing for me. So
No Bob Wagner.
that was the nail in the coffin for my pre-order. But yeah, so the last thing I have is a bit of a mini rant, and I know I pick on Microsoft a lot, mostly because
I picked on them last time.
Well, the main reason I pick on them is because they say stuff and they don't think it through, or they just don't follow through. I don't know. But basically, this is all. I don't know. I mean, I can't. Somebody in their marketing department has to figure out whatever it is that's going on and just stop it. But anyway, this rant is brought to you by the Xbox One S controller, not the system, but the new Fandangle controller that comes with it. I picked one up. It was on sale on Amazon. It was a pretty decent deal. My main purpose, or sole purpose for it, was going to be to use with Bluetooth on my PC because, hey, Microsoft marketing is you can use this on Windows 10 with Bluetooth and no more wires
that's pretty,
and everything else.
Pretty standard right there. That's pretty statement, right?
You can use it with Android. You can use
Bluetooth is Bluetooth, right?
It's Bluetooth. So I'm like
Bluetooth.
Well, because I have the 360 wireless adapter for my computer, and I've been using 360 controllers for years, and it's fine, but they're also 360 controllers, and they're many years old, so they're starting to get the drift, and they're not going to be around much longer. They're still good enough. I thought, hey, this would be a nice transition. I've never liked the Xbox One controller, but maybe since this one's, again, revamped, because this is like the 3rd revision they've had of that now, not counting the Elite controller, and Bluetooth, maybe it'll be a good show. So I get it, open up the box, there's zero of anything in there other than there's the controller and the battery. So there's no cable, there's no instructions, there's no CD drivers, which, I mean, you're going to throw those away anyway.
Not even instructions?
No, there's the box.
Not even like the FCC, warning thingy?
No, controller, batteries, that's it.
Jeez,
so I'm like, okay,
well,
an
OEM one?
Good thing that's Microsoft branded. I mean, I'm like, all right, well, good thing I have everything I would need to get this done. So, obviously, I know I at least have enough forethought, which I think the general consumer would not. I have the forethought to plug it in with the USB cable first, let it do its updates, get the drivers. There's probably a firmware update because Microsoft likes to have firmware for their controllers. So everything gets in, recognized, all that stuff. I go to hook up to Bluetooth, nothing. So I'm like, what is going on? My motherboard does not have a built-in Bluetooth receiver, so I have to have one of those little USB nubs. I go around, work in the back, the nub's not lighting up, so I'm like, okay, not Microsoft's fault. Took it out, put it in a different thing, and it's working. So, bloop, it comes up, finds it. Okay, I'm paired, and go in, let's play some Fallout 4, and it is just herky, jerky, laggy, like just the startup screen. Now, I'm not even talking like in the game with the controls, but it's like I've got 5 different other games playing while I'm trying to play this, and I don't, and it's never done this before. I'm like, what is going on? So I'm like waiting for it to start, and then of course when I get in there, the controls are all jerky and everything else. It's like getting stuck. My guy's walking into the wall, and I'm not even touching the controller. I'm like, all right, something's going on. So turn off the controller, which means pulling out the batteries. Plug it back in. hit the button, and it just blinks, like it's trying to connect to something, but it can't find it. So I go in, my computer still shows it's on there, it says it's paired, but it's not connecting. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? Completely remove it, add it back on, connects again, great. We're back in the game, and it works for 5 minutes. And then it starts the herky-jerky, laggy, everything, blowing up my game and all that stuff. I'm like, what is going on? So this continues for like the first night, and so eventually I just get tired of it after about a half hour, and I just go back to my 360 controller. So I decide, well, that Bluetooth little nub, it's very old, and it was kind of not working when I first started. So I'm going to give Microsoft the benefit of the doubt, which they haven't deserved.
Yeah, that's your mistake right there.
And I'm going to order a brand new nub. Went on to Amazon, their highest rated one, like 4.7 stars. It's only like $12.
4.7 star nub.
Well, and again, this is my only Bluetooth adapter. So if I want any Bluetooth on my PC, I need one anyway, right? Because there's clearly something going on with the one I have. So I wait a couple days, I get that, plug it in, everything is exactly the same. You can't, once you turn off the controller or the computer, it does not automatically reconnect. You have to pair it, like remove it from your computer, and then go in and pair it again every single time.
Please tell me you went online and found out the reason why I thought people...
Nope. Other people are having this problem as well. Now, I think it's something that can be fixed. But in researching this problem, I also found that, like, for the first few days after it launched, it didn't actually have Bluetooth support. Like, even getting it to the point where I've been able to get it to. Yes. Yes. That's what I've learned is that because, you know, I said I had the forethought to actually hook it up first. Apparently, if you don't do that, it will not work. And it did not work even the first few days that they put that out. But yeah, even at this point, when I do get it to work, if I do go through the process to remove it off my computer and then add it back in, which, I mean, we're talking 30 seconds to a minute, but you're still going into your control panel, you're going into devices, you're going into ads, you're going, you know, all the stupid stuff that you shouldn't have to do with a Bluetooth device. And you have to add it in there. You hope that it lasts as long as you need it to before it starts getting all laggy and jerky and everything else, and then you have to go in and remove it again. So I don't understand how you can tout that as a big selling point of this controller, and day one it didn't even work, and day 21 it barely works in an ignorant way that you can't even just leave it connected like any other Bluetooth device in the world. So thanks, Microsoft. Jerks. You're up, Damian.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I still been playing The Witcher, and I got to a part where I got, like, really frustrated with the battles, and so I decided to quit playing for a little while, take a break. I picked up Saturday Morning RPG based on your recommendation, and it was on sale for, what, like $3
$3
on the flash sale. So I picked that up, and it's all right. I don't understand. I must have missed the tutorial. What's the batteries for? No? Nobody remembers?
The batteries. That's to charge up your attacks, I believe.
Okay, so that makes them like more powerful the next time you attack? Okay, I missed that. I'm like, what I gotta charge them
I don't
for?
think that was really in the tutorial.
Okay, well, maybe that's why
I don't
then.
recall.
Alright, so I'm playing that. It does do a lot of waves to the 80s, which is funny and stuff, but I didn't play it too long. I played Titanfall 2 beta. That was fun. I mean, I enjoyed the first one. I wasn't nuts about it. It was certainly a good time. This one going on this weekend right now, there's supposed to be some improvements, particularly with the wall runs, which I noticed the wall runs did not feel good. You were not that fast. I would lose momentum a lot of times when I did wall runs, and come to find out that was one of the things people complained about, so they were supposed to fix that. A couple other things.
Map this weekend too?
What's that?
Isn't it a different map this weekend?
Oh, I don't know. It might be.
I think it is.
Okay. So yeah, I'm still on the fence whether I'm going to pick it up or not. I have it pre-ordered. My wife has it budgeted in. I'm kind of hesitant to say, no, I don't want it, but I don't know. I feel like I'm going to be playing Gears and Battlefield 1 enough that I don't really need it.
Battlefield 1?
Well, I mean, like I mentioned, that got down to ridiculous cheap. several times.
Yeah. I know, but when it got down to ridiculous cheap, I mean, we still had fun, but like nobody was playing it anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, pros and cons, right? Still got 2 months to think it over. But when I went to buy Saturday Morning RPG, let me just tell you, I go to purchase, and it says, you cannot purchase this at this time. I'm like, okay. Wait a while, come back, try again. You cannot purchase this. Close everything out, open it back up. You cannot purchase this. So I'm like, all right, fine. I'll add money to my wallet. Go to add money to my wallet. It says, your credit card's invalid. I'm like, what? Look, nothing has changed, right? I've bought hundreds of games on PSN, never had a problem. Same credit card information, same everything. So I get on the Googlies and start looking this up, and come to find out this has been a documented problem since 2011, that people are suddenly called into question that their credit card is invalid. Now, some people are on there like, oh, you got to get your credit card statement and you got to put everything on there exactly as it was. So
yeah, I had the same thing.
If it's all capitals, if you got your initial, if they got a period, like it's got to be exact. Okay, that still doesn't explain why it worked the last 100 times and now it doesn't. Fine, right. I get my bank statement. My name's all caps, blah, 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 address. I put all that in exactly the way it is. Your credit card's invalid. Fine. You PlayStation, go ahead and charge my PayPal. This is invalid. You can't use PayPal. Like, how can I not use PayPal? My information is the email and the freaking password is correct. You're logged into my PayPal. Okay. Call PlayStation Network. Okay, why is this not working? What do you got to do? Like, fix this. Oh, it's not us. We're charging your bank, but your bank's denying the charge. I'm like, no, that can't be the case. They've never denied it before. I've got money in my account. Like, find another reason in your giant binder. Like, you're stupid. That's not it. Oh, I'm not saying that it's your fault, sir, or anything like that. I'm like, okay. Then explain to me this. How come PayPal don't work? I don't know. It's denying that charge as well. Why would it deny that charge? I'm like, I can go right now on Amazon and buy whatever the hell I want, and it's going to take it out of my PayPal. I can go anywhere else and buy it with PayPal. It's not working. Admit your problem is with PlayStation. Admit the problem is with your coding. No. There's no problem with the coding. PlayStation Network is up and operational, so everything is fine.
That's right. We don't get hacked.
Yeah,
right. We don't get hacked, and there's nothing wrong with our side of it. It's you. So, what's your solution? Go buy prepaid cards. I mean, really? Like, that's your solution? This is what we've come to with the all digital age. I'm quotation marks here, all digital age, and I want to buy it from you directly, and you're telling me to go through a third party? You can't tell me that you're getting the same amount of money if I go to Amazon and buy my PlayStation Plus cards as you would if I buy it directly from you instead of going through a third party. You've got to be making more money from it that way. It's in your best interest to fix this problem, but no, you don't care. And I was unaware of it, admittedly, until it infected me. But apparently, this is going back since 2011.
And
now
I probably found that same thread that you did when I changed my credit card. And the thing I had was I was just trying to change my credit card, and it would give you 3 attempts. And after 3 attempts with the address, if you didn't have it the way, not exactly the way it was, because like you said, I was like letter for letter with my bill next to my screen.
Yeah.
If it isn't the way they like it, they lock you out for making changes for 24 hours. So it took me like 3 days before I could finally figure out whatever strange math they were wanting that
and you figured it out. I never did.
Just through trial and error, yeah.
And then I went and got I even went and got my wife's credit card and tried to do that one, and it wouldn't let.
Now they got all your credit cards, man.
Yeah, whatever. It's all deleted.
I had the same problem over the weekend.
Yeah, and I don't have 3 days to wait. This is a flash sale. I'm trying to buy freaking games that are going off a sale in a day and a half. Like, I don't have time to be wasted on this. Well, go buy a prepaid card, sir. Like, that's everybody's suggestion. Like, that's acceptable. It's just, it me off so much that it's something so simple. It's my effing credit card, dude. It's not that hard to do a security. And then I read today, PlayStation has 2-point multi-factor security. Well, is that going to let me use my stupid credit card, you dumb fool? I'm saving you some beeps, Jeremy. I swear I could go off on them right now. Oh, you're so stupid.
With the Microsoft account not letting you Yeah.
It wouldn't let me do split payments. The problem is I'm in the minority. I have no problems with the PlayStation account. I've even changed credit cards on there. I guess I just haven't. I've been lucky in that. But Microsoft account, I've been locked out of Microsoft for that same thing. When you have like a credit card that's an old one in there and you try and buy something, it says no, you got an old one. Even then, when you try and change it, it still doesn't work right. I've had to be on, support with Microsoft, and they're like, well, you're going to have to add the credit card. I'm like, yeah, I added the right one, and it still won't take the. I mean, it seems to be like I don't know what it is, but it may not be just exclusive to Sony.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think it's lousy with them too that you have to have a credit card on file to get something for free. Because I've run into that.
Yeah, that is true
too. And it's like, it's free. I've given you gold, and I've even had money in my Microsoft account, but they still wouldn't let me download the free game with gold or whatever unless I had a valid credit card.
Now, that's one thing. You don't have to do that with PlayStation because I've deleted everything off of PlayStation now. They don't have my PayPal. They've got no credit cards, and I can still download the free stuff. But my thing is, if I want to buy something, I have to now buy cards, which means when I want to buy something that's only $5 or less, and of course you can only do $5 increments on PlayStation, I have to buy a $10 card. Or if I want to buy something that's like $18, instead of just paying outright the amount that I want to buy, I got to go buy $20 in points.
But at least you can do a split payment on that one.
I guess, man. It's so stupid to me that hundreds of sites. I've never had this problem on Amazon. I've never had this problem on so many other sites. Here's my effing credit card. Here's the numbers. Here's the stupid security thing, which I don't know how safe this is supposed to be with your little 3 digits since I've put it into hundreds of sites. And if I was hacked, somebody would have these easy 3 little numbers. But, here's all these little safety measures, but no, PlayStation says that's not good enough. Or Microsoft, because you had that problem with Microsoft too. No, that's not good enough. Your address needs to be precisely the way it is on your bill. Like, is your coding so stupid that your computer doesn't understand that DR is the same as drive instead of spelling it out, D-R-I-V-E?
How much you want to bet they outsource the billing of this? They actually have a
Well, they outsource the support, so why not, thank you for calling Microsoft. My name is Bill. How may I help you?
Well, and I think it was, too, like, when I actually got mine to work, I put it in differently than what was on my, like, instead of having DR, I put drive or something like that, and then it finally did work, which leads me to think that it has something to do with how they contact, whatever they use to contact your bank. So maybe your bank sends your bill out with one format for the address, but then on some other section of their account or whatever.
That's so stupid, and it's also.
No, I agree. I'm
it's
not
also
trying to defend it. I'm just saying that because
right. But here's the
you're
thing:
not an idiot. You know how to copy what your bill says, and I'm not an idiot, and those still don't work. So there's clearly something else going on.
And not only that, but again, I would understand if I was putting in a new credit card, or I moved, or any number of things. I got a new credit card because the old one expired, but. This is like the same card I just used last week. Like just used it last week with no problems, and now all of a sudden it's like, what? Did somebody flag me? Did somebody say, hey, this is questionable? I mean, what's the difference?
You're buying too many games.
Yeah, you're giving us too much money, sir. Stop, please.
You're not even playing what you're buying. Just play some of those games first, then we'll let you buy some more.
So with that. I also picked up Final Fantasy 5 and 6 for the Vita, which made me realize I had bought Final Fantasy 4 a while back, so I've been playing the crap out of that now every now and then, and that is a lot of fun on the Vita. I mean, the way the graphics are redone, and I like the way when you come across a fight in a story, the screen cracks like it's glass, and then it just shatters out the way, and I love that. I think it's so cool. So I'm really enjoying playing Final Fantasy 4 again, and I'm telling myself I'm going to finish this one this time from start to finish, and then I'm going to start 5, and I've never played 5, and then I'm going to play 6. Shut up, Magnum.
You're going to play 5, and then you're going to get to where you pick the main character's name, and you're going to be like, this dude's name is Butts?
Mm-hmm. What? I want to see some butts.
I want to see some butts. You're going to be saying that the entire game.
Okay, I'm done with my rant. That's it.
So you literally did have a no man's buy situation.
Oh yes, I did.
which could lead into
which was on PlayStation only.
On the PlayStation, which is what we're gonna do since Christian isn't here. He won't have to listen to it.
No.
For our Metacritical for the week. But if you go to as of today, if you go and look at some of those reviews, this is one of those deals where the critics rated way higher than what the users are rating. So take that for what. It was like a 7.
Yeah, but how many?
4 point something for the
right?
users.
But with a game, anytime a game is an exclusive, how many of these people are Xbots going on there and just trashing this game because it's a PlayStation? And look, it goes the other way. It goes the other way too now.
Right.
I mean, PlayStation guys.
It was interesting that most of the negative reviews, because to them negative is 0 to 4, almost all of them were in the 3 range, which was very interesting. Now, the thing that was also funny, I thought, was all of the bad reviews and all of the good reviews. Almost all of them said, well, I've played it for 5 hours and blah, 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 blah. It's like, so apparently 5 hours is a cutoff. Once you've played this game for 5 hours, you can
write a review.
Yeah, you can write a review.
Right.
So, all right, so I'll go first. I think I like it. I gave it a 10. I have 2 reviews, actually. I think it was an exceptional exploration game. I spent 4 hours walking around on the same planet, listening to my favorite Pink Floyd albums.
What a hipster.
I don't know. Wait, listening to my favorite Pink Floyd albums whilst mining, then selling resources.
Oh,
outstanding.
Pink Floyd albums.
It says Pink Floyd.
I know, but I was trying to figure out what it was.
I thought he was listening to like the artist Pink and then Flood.
No, I figured it was just like some one of Christian's favorite bands.
I took it as some hipster album. Pink Floyd.
Okay.
So that was a 10. Now below this one was another 10. And this 10 review says, so much overrated. Don't play this crap. Everything is so empty. Not much you expect that. So don't play this game really. Empty world. Boring as F***. Give me my money. And that's 10.
Just like see the 0 and not see the 1 in front of it?
Maybe he thought it was on a scale of 0 to 10, how much do you hate? I don't know. But
given his grasp of English, he's probably from another country, and in that country, like 10 is horrible and 1 is outstanding. Like
I feel like it was a Ron Burgundy situation where like I give it a 10. It was great.
Ron Burgundy?
I don't know, Damian. What did you think? You had 2 reviews as well.
My first review, I'm just going to say 2. This game should have been called Search for Minerals. You travel to virtually identical planets and fire your magic mining gun at rocks and plants. Incredibly dull and lacking the sense of wonder the developers were hoping to engender.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's what I wrote, and I'm sticking with it. Also, as another note, I'll have to rate it a 0. Had great potential. Too bad it gets boring about 3 hours in. All you do is gather resources to get to the next planet. Yawn. Where you have to do the same. Wait for a sale.
Dan, you loved it.
I gave it a 10. The game is amazing. Every planet is a different challenge. Every place is a surprise. I was born in a radioactive.
There's a reason why this one's here.
Oh, jeez, man. There's a crap in my style.
And I found out there is a spell check button right next to the submit.
No one uses it.
No.
And I was born on a radioactive planet that I had to run for my life, everything in the planet was mean to kill me.
Was mean to me!
It was mean to me. It hurt my feelings. I didn't like it. After I got a different spaceship, I went to another planet. Man, I read this too fast. After I got a different spaceship, I went to other planet with a landscape similar with Moon, but full of lakes and no animal life. The atmosphere was different. I was following an alien signal Sinel. I was following an alien Sinel for help, and I don't know what happened that I forgot time.
Is that like an alien?
Buildings.
Is that like an alien anal? Is that what that is?
Give me all the crazy ones. Looking for old buildings, I didn't realize the heavier atmosphere was consuming my energy faster than usual. Heavier atmosphere. Okay. If I had not left the planet, I would be stuck there forever. It was an amazing experience. An amazing experience.
No, it was an amazing experience.
Do not listen to very bad reviews. I'm going to pause.
Yes, there's
pause
there. Yeah.
People are lazy and never read enough to understand. Well, this guy apparently doesn't read enough to understand either. People are lazy and never read enough to understand what this game is. That's right. There's a space and an exclamation point.
And then another space.
And another space. So
he just saw Solid Snake, I think is what happened.
They are still crying for multiplayer and other things, but do not realize that if they are looking for... see, I have to go back and reread to make sure I read it right instead of putting the words that I think are in there.
You're trying to make sense.
I know. But do not realize that if they are looking for more of the same thing, that they have had no need to play NMS. No Man's Sky. This game is unique and will always be a different, amazing adventure every day. God, I butchered
That was
that.
rough, man.
That was rough. I butchered that. That was a big one, too. But I loved it. I gave it a 10.
You
I
did?
gave it a 10 because Sinels and
Chris gave it a 10 too, but without the 1 in front.
Yeah.
Why is that, Chris?
No Man's Sky is a procedurally generated snooze fest, where the developer intended splendor and wonderment, only frustration materialized. The core gameplay is lackluster and clumsy, and leans heavily on the woefully tedious gameplay mechanics found in Minecraft, yet lacks any of the expressive freedoms found in its peer. I regret my purchase, as I had high hopes for this game. I strongly encourage potential buyers to wait on a substantial price drop before venturing into this vacuous, hollow cash grab.
Wow, this guy sounds like Alfred.
Yes.
That sounds like a butler.
Yes.
Man, this guy's preached.
But for the most part, proper grammar.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
gonna say he's like a thesaurus, man. He's trying to come up with some really good other words to use, stretching that vocabulary there. Anyway, good for him.
So if Christian hasn't driven his car off the road in a fit of rage by now listening to this, we can move on to the movie and TV talk. Who wants to go first here?
I'm gonna go first because I hardly ever have stuff to talk about, and I actually have things to talk about.
Okay.
So I know you, Jeremy. You said you went and saw Secret Life of Pets instead. What was that game?
Instead of Ghostbusters, yeah.
Well, I saw that too.
Oh.
And
which one was better?
I didn't see Ghostbusters. Oh. So, but I probably won't see it. So I'll say Secret Life of Pets is better because I actually saw it. It was pretty good. I liked it. It was enjoyable. I thought I was in the theater with it, and there's this scene in the movie when they go into the sausage factory, and they go into like that euphoric state, and they're singing that song from, it was like Grease, and it's like, we go together like Ramalama ding or whatever that is, and I'm sitting there and I'm kind of laughing because I recognize the song. And I'm looking at my son, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, chang chang, changity chang chua. And he looks like, how do you know this song? And I'm like, because I've seen it.
It's an oldie.
It's an old one song. So he thought it was kind of funny. But I actually laughed quite a bit during that part, because I just thought it was just funny, them eating the sausages. It's a dog thing.
But yeah, after that show that I had talked about it, and you said Toy Story, and I was like, yeah, kind of. But then the more I thought, I'm like, yeah, that was totally Toy Story.
It was Toy Story.
That
It
was
was exactly Toy Story. Yep. The cat was kind of funny. But anyway, almost done with Voltron, and I'm going slow on that one because I'm trying to watch it with the kids. So I really enjoy it, and I don't remember a lot of the stuff from the original. I didn't have like cable TV or anything when I was a kid, so I only got to catch it when on the like month that we ordered cable for like the time, so I don't remember a lot of the story. But was Pidge?
No.
Was that in the original?
No, it was not. And it's,
You can't do that.
That's fine. I was just wondering. Did they? Was that? I didn't realize
that is new, and that is not to be mentioned.
It's not. I mean, does it become a big deal because they really kind of?
It kind of could because the way things played out, and I mean, if anyone has an interest in Voltron, that is not something you want to divulge early.
You can edit that out. But I didn't know. I was just like,
no, that was not a thing. That was not a thing.
Right, it wasn't. It's not a thing. I still think it's a good show.
I'm trying to get my son to watch it.
My kids like it. My daughter actually asks for it.
I'm preparing you now, though. It has one heck of a cliffhanger at the end.
Yes, it does.
I'm not worried about that.
But the second season is coming sooner than expected, so...
Well, yeah, they can probably reuse the same animations. What? So that, and I kind of hate-watched all of Season 3 of Agents of...
Kinda?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I do kind of send those messages to kind of rant just to see what you would say, because I actually don't mind the show. I don't like it, like the amount of like everything. I think a lot of the characters are stupid. Mm-hmm. But I overdo the rant and the text there to you guys just to see what kind of comes out of it. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think the only character I like is Ward, really. And yeah, without spoiling too much of it, there's so many. I like characters in TV shows that stick to principles, that have like they don't change the characters like all the time. Like in one episode they're one way, and then in the next episode they're a different way, and then in the next episode they're completely different than before. And I get it, story, character development, and stuff like that, but good Lord, at least have one character that's consistent. All over the place. I swear to God.
What you're describing is a sitcom. I mean, that's where you have the same characters every
No, Star Trek had consistent characters. There are shows out there that have consistent characters. Even the cop dramas now. I mean, like I don't like it, but Criminal Minds. Criminal Minds is one of those shows. My wife watches it. Those characters in there are consistent. They're consistent. They stick to morals. They stick to their principles, and they go through with the situation. Sometimes they fail. Sometimes they don't. This shows where the characters are just they're making it up as they go along, and one second they're this vulnerable. Oh, I can't do anything, and then the next second they're Billy Bat. It's hard for me to follow, and it drives me nuts. Anyway, it's like
TV
I meant
for millennials.
I guess maybe it is. This is Days of Our Lives, Marvel Edition, I guess. I don't know. But I watched it. I finished it. I thought the last 3 episodes were really good, and that was just when they finally introduced the big bad. Well,
and I get what you're saying, and I think that part of that has to do, I mean, just to not really defend it, but you have to remember, too, this is a group of people in a superhero universe, and not really, for the most part, they aren't superheroes. Yeah. So I think that's kind of their leverage about to keep things interesting and make it so that there's a reason to watch because
do you remember that show Alias?
I know of it. I never watched it.
Say what?
There was so it was the whole like agent spy kind of thing. All right. So the first season or 2 of Alias was actually kind of good, and then like this 3rd series they started reaching for plot twists and everything. So in the whole series of Alias, like everybody, even the civilians, became double agents, and they were working for the other people because you didn't know it, but they've been working for the bad guy this entire time. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
I feel like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. reminds me more of like a less funny Chuck. Like more, it's more trying to focus on action and emotions than Chuck. Right, Chuck had comedy, but if you look at Chuck, all of the characters in Chuck between the first season and last season were completely different. I'm not saying that that they're going for that, but I guess when I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and especially at the beginning, it reminded me a lot of Chuck before it got into really crazy stuff. It could be.
In Chuck, the whole thing was like it took the several seasons to get from one change of character to the other one that he was built up to. This one, it's just 5 minutes or one episode.
Right. Well, like I said, they have to keep up in a world that's not only with superheroes, but then also they have to keep in time with the movies as well. So they have to kind of fit in and tie in.
It's an ever-changing universe.
I get that. Maybe it's just not that kind of style is just not what I dig. I mean, the show, I like the content. I thought it was really cool. I really wanted them to bring Deathlock back in this third season, but they didn't. They mentioned him, but that was it.
Hey, you made it through. I'm proud of you.
I did make it through. It wasn't one I really wanted to make it through, but I made it through.
But all right, yeah, that's it.
Oh no, wait a minute. Sorry. One last thing is I unless I said this with the in the last one, I don't think I did, but I watched Goonies with the kids.
I think you said that last time.
Never mind. All right, cut that out.
All right. What about you, Chris?
I've been kind of spending a lot of time on Netflix. I just finished Star Trek Voyager and Enterprise both.
Wow. Enterprise good?
This is actually the second time I've seen it through. I didn't like the fourth season. Just goes by way too fast. It feels like they rushed everything. I watched it again just to see if I would like it any better, and I really didn't.
Well, you tortured yourself twice.
Yeah, I did. I thought I'd like it better, but I just couldn't get past it. There's too many weird things going on that probably shouldn't be happening before, the real Star Trek takes over, but whatever. I won't watch them again, so I think I've seen every series as it is anyway, so several times. I've also been trying to finish up Jessica Jones before Luke Cage comes out, I think in November or October. I don't remember when that's coming out. And I see all the Lethal Weapon movies are on Netflix, so I've watched all of those.
Oh, I'm too old for this.
And then, just for giggles, I started watching MacGyver. Since all 7 seasons are on Netflix now.
Was it 7 seasons?
Yeah, it is.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they got the reboot coming out soon.
Yeah, it actually comes out this fall.
They're rebooting that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's playing MacGyver?
Ian Anderson, same guy.
Some young kid. I don't know who he is. I've never seen him.
Sounds Korean.
Yeah.
Some young kid.
Yeah, he's a basic
really
unknown.
Funny dad joke.
Yeah. And then the last thing, kind of a proud dad moment. My son just recently, not recently, about a month ago, he watched all 6 Star Wars movies all by himself.
Oh God!
Nice.
You didn't just take the first
Wait,
3?
what? Yeah, what order? What order?
One in order 1 through 6. He did it by himself.
Well, at least you got the bad ones out of the way.
If I had it my way, he would have done it 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2.
Well, I mean, technically, at least they got better as he went along that way.
Yeah.
That's.
Why didn't you watch 7?
Hey, these are great. What is this crap?
Yeah.
Why didn't you watch 7? Why not 1 through 7?
He actually saw that in the theater with me.
Oh.
He's seen it a couple times actually already.
He's seen it.
Yeah. But I didn't tell him to pick it up. He just said, "Hey, I want to go watch Star Wars in your room on the TV." So that's what he did.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I haven't really been to the movies lately. I think the last movie I went to was with the family to see Secret Life of Pets.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh no, I take that back. Star Trek Beyond was the last one I saw.
Oh, I saw that one too.
All right. Well, I'll hop in here before Damian goes down his laundry list. After the Vivitch, my wife decided that we needed a good cleanser from the red box, so she brought home the last Vivitch Hunter.
The last Vivitch Hunter.
The Vin Diesel joint. Not too bad. I mean, it was. Damian, I think you said it was pretty good.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was better than that I Frankenstein thing.
Yeah.
I think kind of had a similar kind of feel and
right.
somewhat plot to it, but is much more enjoyable than that. Really, really good special effects and stuff like that too. It was pretty interesting. Definitely a good popcorn, turn off your brain kind of movie.
Right.
And then I mentioned at the top of the show, I got to see Bad Moms. Now, I had no interest in seeing this, not just because, it's a mom movie, because it's not like I couldn't find any entertainment, but I just have a hard time really getting into those types of comedies anymore. I just, because you know going in, you're going to have the certain characters, you're going to have the predicament, then you're going to have
Cringe moments.
Then you're going to have the we're at a low point in the movie, then something's going to happen, and we're going to end on the high point, and it's just, there's a formula that Hollywood follows with these types of movies, and it's just, unless those cringe moments or those jokes in between there are good, it's really not worth the time. So I will say, as far as a movie, I did not enjoy it, but as far as being able to sit down and watch some funny things happen, it was pretty decent. I found it interesting, though, that in today's world where, especially in video games, and of course it goes into TV and movies, that we're always like, oh, well, women are portrayed as this, and we have to be equality for that and everything else. Apparently in this world there's two types of dads, so I'm going to take the dad's view of the Bad Moms movie, I guess. But you're either the handsome widower dad who's cut with a six-pack, and he's the perfect dad and does everything for his kids, and somehow he doesn't have to work or do anything else. He can just be the perfect dad and knows how to cook and clean and likes to give back massages and everything else. Or you're the I'm a worthless scumbag dad who lays around the house and does nothing, and just everything just happens, and I don't appreciate my wife. And those are the only two dad characters in this entire movie, or one of those two.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Right, and now, mind you, we're talking literally hundreds of moms that you see in this movie, but those are the two dads that you get to see. So, and again, I understand it's a comedy, there's hyperbole there, that's what makes the internet run, is just, extremes and all that stuff. So, as far as the story and all that stuff, you got that from the preview. There's definitely some good funny moments in there, though, as far as conversations that are having. There's one in particular where the girls are standing around talking about how to deal with an uncircumcised situation, stuff like that.
Because that's a problem you have to deal with, right?
Well, apparently, the situation is women who got married and had kids when they were very young. They never had their quote-unquote 20s,
Was that what I didn't know the premise of that.
Well, okay, so you've got the normal mom, the Mila Kunis character. So she's kind of the middle of the road. She can never win, even though she does everything. Then of course she has her two sidekicks. The one who's the loud, abrasive, outspoken one, but she has that tiny little glimmer of a heart of gold. And then you've got her polar opposite, which is the other sidekick, who's the quiet demeanor type girl, but who also once in a while will just say something like, I want to cut somebody's face off, And so those are the two that she chums around with the whole movie, and they have talk stories and all that stuff. So my wife really enjoyed it. We had a good time watching it. Like I said, there were some funny parts, but if you want a movie, which I don't know who goes into comedies thinking that, but I don't know. Maybe it's a good road trip for moms or something. I don't know. There's some entertaining value to it. I guess I'll just leave it at that. But that's all I got.
My turn?
Yep.
So I watched High Crimes, which is an old movie, but it was on Cinemax or Showtime or something. It's Ashley Judd and the dude from Person of Interest, I don't even know his name, was really good. I really enjoyed it. It had one of those endings I didn't see coming, didn't expect it, kind of a military investigation. At times I thought it was trying to be A Few Good Men and stuff, which was laughable, but ended up standing on its own and being pretty good. So that was a decent movie I got to watch. And then one I forgot to write down, I went back and watched the number 23 because this guy at my work is always talking about it, and I was like, that was a stupid movie. Well, I watched it again, and I guess I didn't give it a fair chance. It was an all right movie.
Is that the Jim Carrey one where he went to sing?
Yeah. I had forgot the great thing is I had seen it so long ago, I forgot the ending, so I didn't remember how it was ending. So I ended up watching it, and of course the whole time I'm thinking this is dumb. But then you meet a character who makes all the arguments that I'm making. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like, you know, you're gonna see 23 in anything you do, the way you're going about these numbers, and then you know the ending comes, and so it wasn't that bad. I gave it a bad rap in the beginning, but I guess after you sit through a movie like Snowpiercer, you're like, hey, you know, the movie 23 is not that bad. Okay, and then the big movie I watched was I finally rented Batman vs. Superman. Oh my gosh, did this movie suck so much? All these people who are like, well, it wasn't that bad, and it was all right, and Affleck's Batman is awesome. I'm thinking, well, this is great. I'm like, I'm going to like it because I just want to be entertained. Like 30 minutes into it, my wife looks at me and goes, this is stupid. I'm bored. I'm done. And I'm like, well,
really?
Yeah.
Man.
I'm
I
like,
have one question for you.
I want to finish watching it. I was like, I want to see where it goes. So I watched this movie, which is basically them just trying to justify Batman fighting Superman for like 2 hours. And then the last 30 minutes, you finally get it. You know, they try to cram everything into this last 30 minutes because they done spent the whole beginning of the movie trying to set it all up, like, ridiculous, like pounding into your head, like this is, hey, dummies out there, this is it, you know, this is why this is gonna happen. And oh my goodness, that freaking dude Jesse Eisenberg, I want to rip his head off and take a crap down his neck. It's like that was the Joker with like tan makeup on his face, so he looked human. I mean, Lex Luthor is nothing like that. It was the Joker. That should have been the big reveal at the end, was that they wipe his face and it's got white makeup, and he's like, surprise, you know, it's really me, the Joker, because that's how he acted. Oh. So stupid. And Affleck's Batman wasn't good. The thing that was good about Batman was the way he employed gadgets in all his fights and everything. And that's got nothing to do with Affleck and his acting. That had everything to do with the choreography of the fights and everything that they did. That's what made Batman so cool for me, anyway. I mean, his acting, again, it just is that horrible story that they're trying to pound. And Affleck just staring at his computer screen like, ugh. Why does this guy get to do this? And we got to do something about this. Oh, God, so stupid. And then Wonder Woman, like, who was she even there for? Like, we had to show some. If we don't show any, no guys are gonna watch this movie. I mean, what was she even there for? That was.
Wait. Did you actually get to see him?
No. And then you don't even get to see him. You know. It was
better than Snowpiercer.
Dude, the last 20 minutes of that movie is the only thing that makes it slightly better than Snowpiercer. But I'm not giving it much of a better than Snowpiercer. You know, that was horrible, man.
Did Batman ever put his boot on Superman's head and say, "This does not belong. Boot does not go on your head"?
What are you doing with the boot on your head?
All right, so what did you want to ask me? You were like,
that was it. Was it better than Snowpiercer?
Oh, was it better than Snowpiercer? Yeah, I'm gonna say it was barely better than Snowpiercer, but. Anybody who tells you like Batman versus Superman is not that bad, it's not what all, you know, like those reviews that we read, yeah, those people should be dragged out into the street and shot.
If I remember correctly, most of those 10s were to offset the 3s. So.
Oh, that movie was horrible, man. And I tell you, the other thing is, I was kind of interested in going to see Suicide Squad, especially after Dan and Christian said it was a good flick. No interest whatsoever. Yeah. You DC. You are not getting any of my money, buddy. I'm glad I just rented that from Redbox. Oh, horrible.
Man, you're not getting my $1.50.
Yeah, you ain't getting, and you probably only get 20 cents of that, and you ain't getting that.
I'm gonna go buy another protein shake.
The other movie, the other movie I rented was Dirty Grandpa with Robert De Niro and Zac Efron, and this movie that was funny. Definitely very raunchy. Very inappropriate, not something you should watch around the kids. Not fall off your seat hilarious or anything. It was I don't want to overhype this. It was funny. It was good. If there's nothing else to watch it. Absolutely better than Snowpiercer. Absolutely way better than BVS. But not like the funniest movie you're ever gonna see or anything like that. And there are some slow parts, but for the most part, it was a pretty funny movie. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. Then the last movie I got to see was the new Point Break, right? That's on HBO. I had actually wanted to rent this. The wife even wanted to go see it at the movie theater and stuff, but I was like, I don't know. So glad I didn't go to the movie theater. This movie is like, y'all remember Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle? And the guys who are all like, extreme, and they're like, hey dude, extreme kayaking. I'm pretty sure those guys either wrote, directed, produced Point Break, because that's all this movie is. Instead of focusing on the action and everything, the original Point Break, they were bank robbers first. They bank robbed to fund their little adventure to do the surfing. These guys are like a bunch of tree-hugging freaking hippie you-know-whats that just so happen to want to give money back to the earth, and they're doing the 7, man, that get you in touch with the earth. And they spend, like, every time they do their little stunts or whatever you want to call it, they spend like 10 minutes filming it. I mean, it's literally like that stupid game Steep, where they're all like, hey bro, you can go jump off the mountain and fly, and if you don't want to do that, you can go snowboarding, and then you can go do this. Hey, if that game Steep like gave you a on, then go buy Point Break. Just buy it outright, because you're gonna love this movie. But for those of us who don't get a on for X Games and could care less about it, and you enjoyed the original better, especially, do not go see this movie. Don't even waste your time. Don't be curious like me. This movie sucked. This movie gets the worst in Snowpiercer rating. I mean, it's that horrible. It was horrible. It me off because it's unoriginal. Somebody already wrote it for you. All you had to do was modernize it a little bit, and you couldn't even do that. I mean, at least Snowpiercer was an original plot of, we're going to make a choo-choo train that never stops and like have brainwashed people in the front and yuppies in the back that do all the dirty work. But at least it was original. This plot was already written for you, and you screwed that up. Oh, just horrible movie.
I like a good Damian rant.
Was Gary Busey in it?
No, that's the other thing that me off. I love a good Gary Busey. I remember I just went the other day and watched Under Siege again because I love him in that movie. He's so freaking awesome. And yeah, Point Break was another one where he was awesome.
So. All right, well, that will wrap that part up. We got some. Do you want to do the feedback here, Dan?
We kind of put this off for a little bit. I know we're running long, but maybe just one. How about do one?
Okay. Which one?
I was going to do Linford's here because this blows me away. His question was, what gaming facilities do you have at work? And then he says, I have an Xbox One, football table, and a dartboard. I'm like, what? What do you mean gaming at work? I mean, I'm lucky to get something on my phone here without the boss going by. I mean, you got Xbox in there? I have no gaming. There is no gaming at work.
There is a ping pong table in one of our break room areas, and I heard tale many moons ago of there's some room somewhere that has a 360, probably one of the 4 gigabyte whatever ones, so who knows what games are on it, but I've never I'm at work, I have 15 minutes on my break, I'm going to go play an Xbox game for 10 of that.
Whoa, you heard rumors that there was one in a room? Where you work? Hogwarts Castle? What is there, hidden rooms there or something?
It's a big building, and we actually moved from another building, so I know there was one in the other building, to my knowledge, that carried over, but I mean, it's a situation where there's 2 different buildings, they're connected, and there's 6 floors in each, and you don't just wander around looking for stuff, and the door could be closed, so you're not going to be going around to every single room opening a door to see what's in it, but I think it's a deal where they just kind of bought it, and then nobody actually plays it, so it's not like, oh hey, there's a line outside the Xbox room for everyone trying to get in there or whatever. It's supposed to be there, I just don't care to find it.
Yeah, that boggles my mind that some people have gaming facilities at work. I'm like,
well, it would make sense if you work in game development or at Google or something like that. It makes sense, but for the rest of the world that does blue collar stuff, which is 70% of the working force, no. There's no gaming facility. Matter of fact, like you said, they'll yell at you if they find you playing a game on your phone. You know, I mean, they uninstall Solitaire from your computer for a reason.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I know. They even took Minesweeper out of that thing.
Right. They took everything out of ours too. You know, but now they got that
Q-op.
Yeah, now they got that great thing called. They got that great thing that
show that to somebody.
They got that Android that somebody showed me where you could like play your Android games on your PC. So like now I play Star Wars on my computer at work. Like, same thing. You know, you open that up. I set it to auto battle, minimize it. Now go do some work, maximize it, put another auto battle, minimize it.
What is this thing you're talking about?
It's called Android, Andyoid, and it allows you to play your Android games on your
most Android games.
Yeah, most Android games on your PC. Pretty sweet.
It's like a tablet built. It's like a tablet, pretty much, is what it is. But it's on your computer.
Android. Okay.
Android. Andyoid.
Hemorrhoid.
Hemorrhoid.
H-E-M. Or Google image it. Yeah, Google image search it.
Yeah, it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. It was mentioned on the Star Wars Discord, the Discord channel.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, wait, what? We can play Android games on our computer? Why am I draining the battery on my phone? I'm just going to pull it up on my computer.
Well, that question did actually come in from Mr. Linford on Discord, so if you would like to send us a question through that way, and if you have the app and don't know how to reach us, you can reach out to Damian on the Twitters at Afterthought051, or you can probably also send us an email. Where would they do that, Dan?
Podcast at dadshideout.com.
Okay, and as I mentioned, this is the podcast for dadshideout.com, the online man cave for dads, where we are dads first and everything else second.
Wait. Huh? Did Chris? Oh, he did talk about his stuff. I'm sorry, I thought we totally skipped over Chris.
Oh, no, we're first. Hey, I want to throw out there so that the dates are set in stone because the 40cast has been talking about it. But I am making my way up to Ohio October 28th and staying through I leave the 31st, so let's just say the 30th because the 31st, that's going to be me leaving in the afternoon. So I'll be up there the night of the 28th. To party with these guys the 29th and 30th, and then fly back home. I know Mike was already crying about driving through Pennsylvania, which that little crybaby's never tried to drive through Texas if you think Pennsylvania's bad. And
got that right.
I'm pretty sure my buddy Puddles was going to come down for sure to visit.
Puddles
as long as nobody pulls out in front of him. He said he was going to be here.
Oh.
Yeah, that's too soon, right?
Oh.
Too soon? What?
Well, and just for clarity, the meetup that we're going to be going to the Totakilda is on the 29th, which is a Saturday, so Damian doesn't get until later.
October 29th.
So we're actually, now, if you want to set up some other type of date with him on like the 30th or whatever,
I'm on Plenty of Fish, Match.com,
Snapchat,
Chat.
Face Twit, all of them.
Sit on my face. Roses are red, violets are blue. Let me clear you a place.
We'll have more details on that. The meetup will be in the evening. Exact time we're guessing like 6, 7, 8 somewhere around there. But we'll have more of that as time gets closer. But the definite date is the 29th. So if you'd like to come out and join, the question came up also as far as like whether wives/significant others are able to come. We're not going to be a He-Man Woman Haters Club.
No.
Just even for me personally, like my wife is going to be my driver probably. So
awesome.
We're not going to shy away from that. And I would say probably leave the kids at home just because it is a bar. It'll be a bar environment. It's Saturday night.
We won't have Jeremy to edit this out.
I won't be able to edit conversation.
Yeah, there will be no Mario noises.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we're not going to discriminate as far as that goes. So, I hope anyone and everyone can come out. This will be obviously for the podcast, but also for Dad's Hideout members as well. So, With that, we have no tale for you. Sorry about that, but there was a time, believe it or not, that we did not end the show with Tar Blaster Tales. So let's call this a retro episode. Chris, thanks again. I really appreciate you coming on, filling in for us, and especially last minute. And I think we had you on deck last time, and then had to pull the rug out from under you. So thanks for not holding a grudge there.
Nah.
Anything else you want to plug or talk about, or try and get people to play with you with many games?
The only thing I'd like to mention, I guess, is Chase is doing a Awakened Heathen. For those that don't know, he's doing his extra life for
extra
kids
life.
weekend.
Yeah,
2 to 12 hour.
Yeah, 12-hour days, Saturday and Sunday. I know it's probably gonna be.
Is this going to come out before he gets done?
Not.
It'll be out probably during his second 12-hour.
Yeah,
I don't know
the
times, but
he's doing, I think, from 8 to 8.
Oh yeah,
or
we're
10
doing
10, something like that.
We're doing Battlefield 4 tomorrow night, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunday. I think he's doing both nights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on Sunday night for sure.
Oh, okay. So Saturday and Sunday night. Yeah. Awesome.
So if you want more info on that, check us out at dadshideout.com. We have forums there, which will have all our game nights listed. That little Discord app, apparently lots of stuff happening on
Oh, lots of stuff happening in Discord.
It won't shut up sometimes.
Yeah, Discord.
I never installed it.
Discord, people join Discord like, oh, so this is where everybody's at.
All right, well, thanks guys for showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And we will talk to everyone in a few weeks.
Woo!
Right. Later, guys.
Bye, fade to black.
They don't pick this time of the day to spring unpleasant surprises on Dad.
I am your father.
If they have disagreeable views, they'll postpone the discussion until another time.
You killed my father. Prepare to die.
We can't play that; it's copyright.
What? Pretty sure it's been over 10 years. That means it's open.
Tell Lars that. At Lars, it's been 10 years. Give it up.